comics, poor entertainment, poor news,
foodies watching movies,
adulting 80s,
Podcastrophe, the voice of survival,
kids for sale, Gallif Radio,
brews with dudes, journey into wrestling, journey into comics network, journeyintocomics.com. The following journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into comics.
Journey into Comics,
Journey into Comics Network production.
Heritage!
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Dick and Tyler. And Matt. Coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe
With Matt!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 65 of Podcastrophe. I'm one of your hosts, Dick,
I'm one of your hosts, TY.
and officially announcing Mr. Matt Wilcox as our third host.
It's me, Matt!
Trifecta of hosts.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
We're like the Triforce, but better.
I was thinking
I
that
like how,
movie,
like,
The Tripod.
how like lethargic you sound when you say that. We're like the Triforce, but better.
Suck it, Zelda fans. We are the Triforce. We are the Trifecta. We are the tip of the spear. And both edges.
I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I like it.
Think about it. Think about it. Every fucking spear starts as a triangle. Like, some of them might be a little bit diamond-shaped, but it's essentially a fucking triangle on the end of a stick. Like,
He's not wrong.
come on, fucky, get this triangle. Yeah.
You want this pyramid?
And you, yeah. You got the tip and you got the sides. It's like we're all that. And
Each
stuff.
one of us is a plane.
Yes.
Leading to a tip, which is Podcastrophe.
Math.
That's a possible episode title. All spears start as triangles. Like, what? Like, what the fuck are you guys going on about?
Dude, I'm in this fucking recliner and it's like I remember like back to yesteryear, which was literally like 8 months ago, when we were podcasting out of the original Sanctum of Dicks.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, we can get really comfortable, and then we'd have an episode with like 4 people on, and then it'd be super uncomfortable.
Super hot.
Super hot.
That room got so hot.
And then it was like, okay, you know, let's move. You're moving to Joe's. We've got a little bit different setup. Like obviously the location was not ideal, but I really dug that space.
Yeah, that room was pretty sweet. I mean, it could have been a little bigger.
Yeah, I mean, if we
with
would have had a
better
little bit
couch.
more depth to
Yeah.
the room, I thought the width and the overall like layout of the room, how you set it up, was pretty nice.
Yeah. I remember looking at that room originally and thinking it was much bigger than when I got in there.
Well, it's always like that
Yeah.
before you cram a bunch of shit in it.
I mean, even then, even before I crammed all the shit in there, I was like, this room looks a lot smaller than the last time I saw it.
But I mean, you're gonna find that with this
Yeah.
house. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
Skylar
no.
and I did the moment we put all of our stuff away. It's like, okay, this is all the things that we need to make our house our home, and then we got that stuff, and it's immediately like, oh shit, we've outgrown our fucking house already.
That's kind of where we're at. We just moved to a trailer from Chicago, and our trailer is much bigger than our apartment in Chicago. But yet, as we're like putting stuff away, we're like, oh shit, didn't we have this out? Where do we put this?
Right.
So everything's just stuffed in a closet right now.
I feel you.
Yeah, last week was a fun week. Like, on top of Thanksgiving, we closed on our house 2 days before that, which, folks, don't ever close on a house and move into a house over Thanksgiving weekend or any holiday weekend for that matter, because
moving sucks in general. You throw in less than ideal weather and a holiday week.
a holiday.
on top
So,
of that.
like, we didn't want anything to do with Thanksgiving. We didn't want to do any Thanksgiving stuff. We just wanted to focus on this, or she did. I put in my 30%.
Right.
But yeah, we closed on the house, and I had already since you were going to be out of town and we were closing on the house, I wasn't going to be able to record an episode. You weren't going to be able to be here to record an episode. You did your live stream on the road, and I had a plan that I was just going to use one of our Road to Infinity War episodes, and I had one picked out, but I forgot to upload it before I unplugged my computer and packed it all up. So
It happens.
Pod Daddy Nate Poole.
Nate Poole coming in clutch like
Yeah.
always.
He came in and he
Saved the day.
he saved the day with our Deadpool Road to Infinity War episode. In honor of Once Upon a Deadpool coming out.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that? Like, you and Matt both.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
They're re-releasing Deadpool 2,
Oh, okay. Now I know. What you're talking about.
PG-13,
Yeah, that's stupid.
but told through telling through Freddie Prinze Jr. Wow,
Fred
Savage. Wow. But yeah, they're doing that hopefully to see if it can be successful among that audience, which kids already love Deadpool. So it just makes it more accessible to kids rather than the R-rated, the hard R Deadpool that we know.
Here's part of the perspective that I look at it, as far as younger than 17 kids. Deadpool has once again swept the nation, won over our hearts and minds, comic fans and just movie fans and fans of any media in general.
Meh.
I'm not talking about you, Matt. We'll get to you here in a minute. I'm just talking about in general. Swept through the masses very quickly with that first Deadpool film.
I'd agree with that.
Excuse me. Still fighting a cold.
Stop it.
But do you think, as far as the younger kids go, do you think they have legitimately fallen in love with the character, or they have fallen in love with the actor playing that character? Because I've actually thought about this a lot here lately.
That's a good question.
That's
a really good question.
With the build up to Once Upon a Deadpool, I think that as a younger generation of just moviegoers and media fans in general, I think that it's Ryan Reynolds that is actually, he's already bringing the draw to the character because he's the actor. I mean, he makes the character what it is. But I think, and I've said this before, I think if anyone else were in that suit, that it would not be what it is right now.
Yeah.
So I think if you really get to the nitty-gritty of it and break it down, that they're actually falling in love with Ryan Reynolds and not.
Yeah, because he's really just playing
Marvel's
himself
Deadpool.
again, which is what he does.
He's playing Van Wilder.
Which is what he does.
Essentially, yeah.
It's just what he does, and he does it so well.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with the latter part where you're falling in love with Ryan Reynolds. I really don't see, for one, how you don't. He's a very charismatic guy.
He, in my opinion, he is one of the most talented actors in Hollywood without trying to be that.
Yeah.
He just shows up. I mean, he's always in shape. He takes very good care of himself.
I think he's he's typecasted, though.
But that's not necessarily always a bad thing. John Wayne was typecast.
That's true.
And he's one of the most successful actors in cinema history.
I'm just thinking,
also supposedly gay, if you believe that.
I'm just thinking, when I think of the best actors, you think of people like Tom Hanks or Tom Hardy who have done a diverse amount of roles.
But Tom Hanks, I mean, if you really want to break down Tom Hanks' career, he is also typecast.
I guess I don't really see how.
I mean, okay, so I'll just pull out three movies just off the top of my head. Saving Private Ryan, Saving Captain Phillips, and
Just Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips. I put Saving Captain Phillips as a joke, and you ruined it.
Oh.
So both of his saving movies, one with a captain and one with a private, and the Da Vinci Code trilogy of films. He is cast as that older, responsible white male. I mean, that's
probably the best way to describe it. Is just
See, I don't know if I really see that with Saving Private Ryan. I can't really attest to the other two. I haven't watched them.
He's Cap. I mean, he's the one that everyone like. Just look at Saving Private Ryan. His word in that movie, if he said do a backflip, every single person that is directly under his command would do that backflip. And it's not just because they're in the military, it's because they respect him as a human being.
I think it was a lead by example thing.
And
I think if you wanted to compare two roles like Saving Private Ryan, you would have picked like the Green Mile. Because that's, I think, a more relative.
That's a good one, yeah, for sure.
But I think if you think kind of early to his career, Turner and Hooch, then you had Big.
But he stepped out of that, out of that really fast.
But then he went to things like Forrest Gump, and then Castaway, Green Mile, Saving Private Ryan.
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. I think it's called Philadelphia. It's about where he plays a gay man who has AIDS, but he gets fired because he's gay. And then he sues the city.
Yeah.
And I think Denzel Washington is his lawyer.
Yes.
I think it's called Philadelphia. Fantastic movie.
Never seen it. Never even heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it until I saw something about
How old is it?
It was in the 90s.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Was it in the 90s? I thought it was in the early 2000s.
It was either late 90s, early 2000s.
Early 2000s would have been like top of
I want to say
Denzel Washington's fucking...
I want to say it was before early 2000s because Denzel looks like it's before Training Day.
Okay.
And that was 2001, I think. When
Right. Yeah.
Training Day came out. So, that's what I think about when I think of like actors who have kind of diversified. Cuba Gooding Jr. He was in that. What's that movie he's in with Robert De Niro, where he plays a diver?
Men of Honor.
Yeah.
So he did that, but then he's in a lot of like just stupid comedy movies prior.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Ryan Reynolds, you look
also
at
Pearl Harbor. I mean, he had a
Pearl-
pretty prominent role in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
but like Ryan Reynolds, I said he's Van Wilder. That was in early 2000s, like 2003, 2004.
That was his breakout role.
Yeah, he's essentially
Waiting.
He's essentially the same character in all those movies. And I'm not to say it's a bad thing, because I like all of those.
He has branched out a little bit, because what was that movie that he did with Sandra Bullock?
The Proposal.
The Proposal.
I love that movie.
That is a good movie.
And Sandra Bullock's hot, so
too.
it makes it better.
I think Buried, that's another one that he's kind of like broke out of.
A completely, it's a one-shot movie, and you get to see a different side of Ryan Reynolds. Like, besides like what you've seen in like Amityville Horror or shit like that. There was one.
That's a good one too, Amityville Horror.
There was one he did a couple years ago where
Life?
Was it Life?
Is that the one you're talking about?
Where
Where's in space?
No, that was a good one though.
Yeah.
No, it's the one where he basically.
Is that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes. Really good.
I haven't seen it. But
Yeah, that was a good movie. There's this rich guy, and they basically transferred his mind into the body of another.
Oh,
That
I
was
remember.
good.
I remember seeing the previews for that, and then I never ended up watching it.
It was good.
He did that R.I.P.D. movie.
That was okay. That was okay.
But I mean, like, for the most part, he's in that same role.
Yes.
He's basically like
Action comedy.
a more, I guess I'll just say pretty version of Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson just plays the big badass in every movie.
Because he's a big badass.
Well, he's a big badass, yeah. Like, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. Shit, the guy makes more money than any other movie star in the world. But, like...
He is the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Yeah. Do you honestly see him going and winning an Oscar for Best Actor?
More than Robert Downey Jr. now?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you see how many movies he comes out with a year?
See how much movie he make?
You see how much movie he makes?
Yeah.
He makes so much movie.
But to get back to our original
He make
point,
all
I
the
think
movie.
it's just, people are seeing Ryan Reynolds and they're just like, hey, I like that actor. And then they see the Deadpool movies and they're like, oh, that is totally Ryan Reynolds. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's what, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the Deadpool movies. I can't say movies because I haven't seen the second one. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's good.
But the first one, I was just kind of like, it's all right. To me, it was just another Ryan Reynolds movie. Just this time, he's in red leather.
You're not wrong.
So,
You gotta love that red leather, though.
Dude, that
God,
suit...
I'd like to
That
lick
suit
it.
was just so perfect.
But I will tell you what Ryan Reynolds movie I am excited for. Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yes. Great segue. Great segue, Matt.
Well, before we continue with Ryan Reynolds, my biggest comparison for Ryan Reynolds in Hollywood is Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
But I think that Bradley Cooper is a much more talented actor as far as
He's branched out a lot
diversifying
more.
himself.
And he just has more depth to him.
Yes.
He has a lot more depth
I
to him.
mean, you look at American Sniper, that is one of, in my opinion,
He did a good job with that movie.
Yeah, he did.
the best movies at breaking down mental health without saying this is
Yeah.
a mental health movie. This is
Yeah.
what this is all about.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I would agree with that.
And
Definitely.
then I haven't seen what's the new one he's doing?
A Star is
Star is Born.
I want to see that
I
so
heard that
bad.
was really good.
A lot of people are criticizing Lady Gaga's singing. Like a lot of vocal coaches in the industry are criticizing Lady Gaga's singing ability in the movie, which this is one of those examples of who is paying you to bitch about this, because I don't fucking care.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like you could put on the fucking "Shallow" song that they sing in the main trailer for that film right now, and I'll fucking get my dick out and jack off to that song because it's good. Like, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga both can fucking sing.
Kind of
So-
reminds me of that movie that came out a few years back. It's called Country Strong. It had Gwyneth Paltrow. She like tried to start a country career, like singing career out with it, and it just didn't pan out for her. But
Yeah.
like, it's something similar because like, the story's about like these two up and coming country singers that tour with this like girl coming back from her. You have basically the country version of Britney Spears,
Okay.
and she just can't. The rehab girl just can't handle it anymore. And then like they have this whole big old drama filled thing. It's whatever, but it just kind of reminds me of that just from the trailers I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear it's still pretty good. Bradley Cooper, I think his big breakout role was Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, definitely as far
Where he
as a
diverged.
mature,
Yeah.
serious.
because the Hangover.
Yeah, that was the first thing
his,
I ever.
like,
That's what I was
big
gonna
one.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, it was his first like.
And
I'm the
he
main
was in
guy.
stuff like that, or he was in stuff before that, like
He was in Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of movies.
What the fuck is that camp movie?
I want to know. I think I know what you're talking about. I
It's
just can't think
got-
of it.
Fuck. Hold on. A Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh yeah.
He was there. He was in that movie.
Yeah, I mean he's in a lot. He was in a lot of movies, but his first like breakout role was in The Hangover, and that was like the first movie he. Oh, he's in Yes Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was his first like, hey, I'm the main guy in a film, and then all of a sudden he did Silver Linings Playbook with Jennifer Lawrence,
Fantastic movie.
and
Love
people
that
were
movie.
like, oh my gosh, he's actually not just some.
He's
Like,
not just
dude.
a meathead.
Yeah, so
Because that's kind of how I looked at
Failure
Bradley.
to Launch. He was in Failure to Launch.
Yeah, he was.
Good movie.
I kind of looked at Bradley Cooper as just a meathead wannabe comedian. Because I'm not a fan of the Hangover movies. Some of the worst fucking film ever created, in my opinion.
I think
The first one was
the
good.
first. Well, I
didn't think
the
it was
thing
funny
about
at
it is when they came out, they had like the first one had shock value.
Yes. Second one was the same exact fucking movie.
Most sequels are.
And I honestly fell asleep, and I have never wanted to watch it ever again. The third one, however, it was
I
decent.
haven't seen the third one.
The third one was decent. It was different. It was different.
But the reason I brought up Bradley Cooper right after you brought up Detective Pikachu, because the day that we got the Detective Pikachu trailer, Blaine and I talked about it on the show, and I compared Bradley Cooper's Rocket Raccoon
Oh yeah.
to now Ryan Reynolds' Detective Pikachu, because just as far as ability to be a voice actor and overall delivery and associating that character with that voice forever. I will never be able to read Rocket Raccoon anything and not hear it in Bradley Cooper's voice. Yeah. If I watch Guardians of the Galaxy TV or a cartoon on Netflix right now, and it's not Bradley Cooper's voice when Rocket's talking, that doesn't sync up in my head.
Yeah.
Because Bradley Cooper does such a good job with Rocket Raccoon that it goes back to what I was saying about Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I don't want anybody else to do it because now I have my character established.
It's kind of like the Mark Hamill Joker, Kevin
Absolutely.
Conroy Batman thing.
Yes, that's part of the problem, and we've debated the Joker a lot on this show.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem, or part of the reason that I've had such an issue with other people's Jokers, because when I heard Mark Hamill as the Joker, I almost can't accept anybody else, because that is who that is for me.
Now he's the fucking trickster.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he was a trickster back in the 90s.
Well, I just mean like in the Arrowverse, he's the trickster.
Oh, but he was the trickster back then.
I know.
And Cockknocker.
And Cockknocker.
But, so, yeah, we
Him and Tara Strong.
Yes, we can continue on with Detective Pikachu. I think that where Bradley Cooper and Ryan Reynolds are at in their careers, I think you can go tit for tat and just say that, yeah, these guys are on even playing fields. Even though Ryan Reynolds is typecast, I think he has enough talent that if a role were to come up that wasn't Detective Pikachu or Deadpool, the stuff that's kind of in his comfort zone, I feel like he would have the ability, and if it was the right role, that he would have the drive to say, yep, I'm going to go nail this, much like Bradley Cooper has with everything that he's done the last, I'm just going to say 7 years.
Yeah.
I would agree. I don't want to speak for Ryan Reynolds, but I mean, I guess it just depends on what he wants for his career.
Right, you're right.
Like,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying by any means that I think that's what he should do with his career, or if he's dumb for not branching out. Because I'm one of the few people that I don't really give a shit when people are typecast, as long as the material is that I'm being fed is good quality material. I don't really give a shit. I've said it hundreds of times on the show. If I can justify spending $3 at the Family Video or Redbox or whatever, and my $10 movie ticket, I'm a pretty easy fan to satisfy. So, but what's your thoughts on Detective Pikachu? Because Blaine and I, we kind of hammered it pretty hard.
Squirtle hat. Where's the squirtle? Yeah, Squirtle hat.
I apologize for the coughs. I can't help it. But yeah, Blaine and I hit Detective Pikachu pretty hard when that trailer dropped a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It looks to me like that Power Ranger movie that came out, like, what was it, 2 years ago or a year ago now? Where, like, I'm not expecting this thing to win Oscars. I'm going in there for a fun time. And just seeing the trailer, like...
That came out last year.
With Deadpool Pikachu, as I'm going to call him.
Power Rangers?
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago.
No, it came out last year because...
I think it came out last year because I saw it in Chicago.
Richard was living with Joe. And we all three of us went. Made it a mandate.
It came out fucking like early last year then.
It did.
No, I think it came out in May.
Yeah. It was around...
That's quarter one.
Yeah, true. But, no, I'm excited. Just, like, after seeing the trailer, I'm like, you know what? I dig this.
I'm into it.
I'm like, I like hearing Pikachu be sarcastic as hell. Especially, like, with the scene where the girl's like, you're adorable. And he's like, no, you're adorable. Like, that's probably my favorite one. And then the Mr. Mime, the creepy mime.
Yeah.
One of the first things that I asked Blaine when we were talking about Detective Pikachu was, are we going to see Pikachu fuck something?
I hear it's rated PG-13.
That was my first... You can have sexual scenes in PG-13.
Dude, Pikachu might drop the F-bomb.
At least one. It's not going to be PG-13. It's going to be PG.
I would assume it's going to be PG.
It'll be PG.
But I would love it if it was PG-13 and then Pikachu just looked at the camera and was like, fuck you looking at? And then, like, stop it.
Okay, on like a short side note, why do we have that fucking distinction? PG versus PG-13. How fucking dumb is that? Like,
more cuss words.
When I lived in Europe, like, I could on regular broadcast TV watch porn whenever I wanted. Like, I was watching Big Brother, the really popular reality show here. It started in Europe. Yeah. Like, that's where that show came from. German Big Brother is totally different than American Big Brother. You watch people fuck on the show. Like, it's better, okay? Like, I personally don't believe in censorship for anyone. I think you're doing people a disservice if you censor anything, because you should never look at the world with fucking blinders on, and that's how I look at censorship. So,
Our country's like history has kind of been that way, though.
Right,
We've
right,
tried
right.
to seclude ourselves
yeah.
and put ourselves on this pedestal.
But I've just never understood why. Like, I understand the movie and video game rating system.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to somewhat educate people that in this movie you might hear someone say a curse word. Like, I get that. But what I'm asking is the differentiation between PG versus PG-13, because there might be one more damn or F-bomb. Like,
I think it's for
What the
more
fuck?
adult suggestive themes, and I think that's for an older belief of conservative values
okay,
or moral values. That's what I would attribute it to. Not to say that it's right or
Sounds
wrong,
about right.
but that's just what I would.
Makes sense.
Again, that kind of goes back to where we like to seclude ourselves and put ourselves on this pedestal where we're like, oh, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. We don't just show our kids porn, like, even though every child has looked at porn
Right.
at some point. So
whether intentionally or accidentally.
yeah, exactly.
Pornography is a part of our fucking society.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been looking at fucking nudie pictures for as long as there's been fucking nudie pictures.
Caveman drawings.
I mean, we're fascinated with tits.
But yeah, Detective Pikachu looks awesome. There's other movies that come out next year that look awesome. I'm excited for.
Shazam.
I was thinking more of like Lion King.
Oh yeah, Lion King looks great.
Man, I am not excited for it.
Well, see,
Not because I don't think it looks great.
Mufasa.
No, I don't give a fuck about Mufasa.
Well, they got James Earl Jones
Right,
again,
I mean-
man. That's cool.
That is cool.
Like, but it goes back to what I was saying about, like, every character and actor that I've raved about in the almost 2 years that I've been doing the show now at this point. I'm going to say almost 2 years because it makes it sound longer than it is, even though it's not. But, like, you can't talk about The Lion King without imagining James Earl Jones fucking laying down the wisdom for Simba. You just can't. If it was anyone else, I mean, maybe Morgan Freeman. Maybe. If it
I
was...
don't even think that, dude.
that's a strong fucking maybe.
I was about to say something so stupid.
Go ahead. Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it.
So stupid. When you said maybe Morgan Freeman, I about said at least he'd be black.
Oh, shit. But, like...
God damn
like,
it.
you just can't do it.
No,
like,
you can't.
James Earl Jones is Mufasa.
Yeah.
And when fucking when J.E.J. goes, like, that's gonna be one of the biggest fucking losses in Hollywood history, just because of fucking Lion King.
Yeah.
Well, Darth Vader also.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about Lion King right now.
Yeah.
Don't make me go down the Star Wars rabbit hole.
But anyway, like, the reason why I'm excited for Lion King is because that Jungle Book movie that came out was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Visually amazing.
It's real good.
And I really enjoyed it.
We tried
And it's
watching
the same director.
Yeah, we tried watching Beauty and the Beast the other night.
I like it. I thought it was okay.
I got over the whole Beauty and the Beast thing.
That's my favorite.
It was
Disney
my
movie.
favorite as a kid.
Mine's Fox and the Hound.
Dude, that's
Ooh,
the saddest
I love
fucking movie
Fox and the
ever,
Hound.
man. I can't even
I
watch
love
that.
Fox and the
I'm
Hound.
a baby. I cry at every movie ever,
My favorite
and I'll
part,
cry at Fox and the Hound all
my
the time.
favorite part of the last Jungle Book film, not Andy Serkis's that's coming out this month, or
Mowgli?
either like Mowgli, which is the Jungle Book.
No, it's a sequel to the Jungle Book.
What?
Mowgli, it's past the Jungle Book.
No, it's a reimagining.
It's not what I got from the trailer that I saw.
You
Look up the description. Look up the synopsis.
I don't feel like doing that right
Well,
now.
I'm gonna
I'll
do
just
it.
trust you.
I'll do it while I'm talking.
He can multitask.
But
God damn.
God damn.
my favorite part of the live action Jungle Book was now that I'm trying to talk about it,
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray as fucking Baloo.
He was fantastic.
Like, who would have ever thought that fucking Bill Murray could nail Baloo, and he fucking did it. Like, that's a testament to Bill
Didn't
Murray.
Johnny
let's
Goodman
be
do
honest.
it
What?
originally?
Yes.
Yeah.
He nailed Garfield.
Yeah. he
Okay,
did.
so I'm gonna read this to you. Human child Mowgli is raised by a wolf pack in the jungles of India. As he learns the often harsh rules of the jungle under the tutelage of a bear named Baloo and a panther named Bagheera, Mowgli becomes accepted by the animals of the jungle as one of their own. But the fearsome tiger Shere Khan doesn't take a liking to him. But there may be greater dangers lurking in the jungle as Mowgli comes face to face with human origins. It is Andy Serkis's imagining of the Jungle Book.
Okay.
Benedict fucking Cumber Pickle Snatch.
Is he? I was about to say Bagheera Shere Khan.
No, he's Shere Khan.
Hell yeah.
Like,
hell yeah.
That's gonna be good. That, like,
He was awesome as Smaug.
yes, we need Benedict Cumberbatch in more roles like that.
He was also really good as the Grinch.
He was also really good as Khan.
I really liked him as the Grinch.
He was really good as Khan.
Khan was awesome. His Khan was fucking awesome.
That was
Yeah.
the best Star Trek movie. Of like,
The first one was
Yes.
good.
Of the
The second
three.
one was
Yes.
the best. The third one was awful.
third one was trash.
It was awful.
Third one, okay, the third one was just a giant fucking character piece that we didn't need.
about who?
That's the thing.
everyone.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Ask Spider-Man 3.
Shots fired, but not wrong. So anyway, back to live action Disney.
I think Dumbo looks good.
See, Dumbo is one that has always just kind of weirded me out. Like, that cartoon as a kid.
Well, here's the
It
thing
is
fucking
too.
made me uncomfortable.
I loved it as a kid.
It's also
but
Tim Burton.
Right, which I think is going to be awesome. So I'm actually, as weirded out as I've always been by Dumbo, I'm excited to see this one.
I hate Tim Burton.
You didn't like the first two Batman movies?
That's the only Tim Burton I like.
You got to
Besides Beetlejuice.
You have to appreciate Tim Burton for what he's done.
Oh,
You-
yeah.
what
I
about
have
Sweeney
respect.
Sweeney Todd's fantastic.
Todd? You didn't dig Sweeney Todd?
That's such a good movie.
I'm not really into musicals.
What the hell is
Yeah,
wrong with
but
you?
as far as just, I mean, if you're gonna watch a musical, like,
No, you watched The Phantom.
come on. But anyway,
I'm mostly just really bitter about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
yeah, that was really bad.
That's so bad.
But it wasn't bad because of Tim Burton. It was bad because you can't replace Gene Wilder as
Nope.
Willy Wonka.
Dude, I had a nightmare about Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka actually once where he fucking murdered me.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was creepy as fuck. in
He
that
murdered
movie.
my childhood.
Oh.
Damn.
But I mean,
Fuck.
it goes back to all the roles that we keep talking about on the show. You cannot put anyone in Gene Wilder's place as Willy Wonka. You just can't do it. You can replace anybody else in that movie.
You also can't replace the Oompa Loompas.
Right.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah, that was really fucking
Very
dumb.
pissed about that.
Well, to go back to what you were talking about, this kind of relates to both points. You were talking about the Beauty and the Beast movie, and we're talking about actors you can't replace. Like, Beauty and the Beast, I thought was really good, except for, like, Mrs. Potts. Like, you got to have Jessica Lansbury
Yeah.
do the voice so she can sing the song.
Yes.
Like, that is the, like, key part of the movie that everybody remembers.
Mhm.
Is Mrs. Potts singing the song, and it just didn't sound right. And I was like, no, it's my favorite part. No, please.
No.
So, as excited as I am about Disney continuing this live action reboot trend, I'm a little bit worried about Lion King, just because it's going to have a lot of shock value for the younger generation of kids that didn't experience Lion King the same way that we did. Mm-hmm. But you have our generation, which I think we're going to be ultra critical of the Lion King.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're gonna overanalyze Disney and say, you know, Mickey Mouse is obviously an icon. Other than that, now they've acquired Star Wars. So let's just push aside everything that they've acquired
And go to the core.
Disney at its core is Mickey Mouse and fucking Lion King.
Basically, any of the Renaissance characters.
Yeah.
From like 89 through 99.
Yeah.
Any of those characters. So like Little Mermaid.
Yep.
You know, Simba, Mufasa, all of those characters.
I mean, we're to the point now where one of Disney's biggest franchises ever in the Pirates of the Caribbean, starting as a fucking ride at a theme park, becoming this, you know, basically billion-dollar movie franchise, has failed. They've removed Johnny Depp, which was entirely the draw for that film franchise to begin with.
And that sucks because Dead Men Tell No Tales was actually good.
Yeah.
Stranger Tides, not so much.
Was that
seen
the
that
last one?
That was the fourth one.
Okay,
Yeah, the fourth one
I
sucked. I
thought
haven't seen the fifth.
I
Fifth
thought,
one was good.
Wait a minute.
Fourth one has Penelope Cruz.
Yeah. The fifth one, the fifth one, it
It
was.
has Javier Bardem. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that
that
one.
was
Yeah, I
good.
haven't seen that
That
one.
was good, guys.
I
Promise.
was
I think
thinking
it's on Netflix. Huh?
I was thinking
It at least was.
the first one was okay. I thought the second one was pretty good. The third one I thought was kind of the peak of that franchise.
And a lot of people downed it.
See,
I liked it. I like all of them.
I mean, I did too. I haven't seen the fifth one.
I think the original trilogy was pretty good. The
But
first
I thought
one was my favorite.
I thought
though.
overall the they did a really good job. Here's our story. Now we're gonna play it out, and the plot got thicker and deeper and more complex every movie through the trilogy. And at the end of the trilogy, it's like, okay, we're done now.
Yeah, that's all it needed to be.
That's all it needed to be.
When they announced the new, like, on Stranger Tides, I was like, what?
Yeah, it was the same way. I had the same kind of reaction of like.
And then after
why
that,
is this necessary?
basically bombed, or at least bombed, like, in terms of, like...
Disney standards.
Box office.
And I don't think... Did it bomb box office?
I don't
I
think
think
it
it was
bombed,
actually-
but I think it did.
I don't think it did
bombed
as
the
well
critics.
as the third one.
It bombed in reception. And then they come out with another one. I'm like, really? Another? Like, you guys are, like... You
Kind
guys
of like
are...
that Transformers series.
I was about to say, like, Jerry Bruckheimer, you're doing some fucking Michael Bay shit right
You
now.
never go full Michael Bay.
I think what Disney tried to do with Pirates of the Caribbean was,
What Michael Bay did with
well,
Transformers.
I think they kind of tried to do the Indiana Jones thing,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Where-
yeah.
where you take Star Wars and Indiana Jones, two of the most iconic franchises from late 70s through late 80s, captivated a generation,
Yeah.
you know, spawned all kinds of other media, and I think they wanted to capitalize on the same kind of feeling and kind of captivate a new generation, captivate a new audience of people
Yeah.
with kind of the same fanfare and adventure, you know, because up until the first couple Pirates of the Caribbean movies, what other good adventure franchise had we had since Indiana Jones? We hadn't had one.
No.
No, we hadn't.
So, but, you know, we've got The Lion King coming up. We've got Dumbo coming up. They're going to keep making Pirates of the Caribbean's movies. I don't think that they're going to do very well, especially now that Johnny Depp's out of the project.
I hadn't even heard anything about it.
It's
I've heard
early development.
Yeah, I've heard very little. But
They probably
the big,
won't do it.
but I
don't
think
think they'll do it.
the money's already spent.
Not without... Oh.
I mean, the capital has been moved forward to make the what they have advertised as a new trilogy of movies.
Well, Dead Men Tell No Tales, it involved Orlando Bloom's...
Dutchman.
William Turner's son.
Mhm.
And he's trying to get him out of that contract or something like that.
Right.
So basically, like the first movies.
Kinda, yeah. It's different.
What's the other one? You had Lion King, Dumbo. There's a couple others.
Well, we
coming out
know a Little Mermaid one is coming
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
We know that's confirmed.
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 is coming up, which I think will be the last one in my
Well,
mind.
we thought that
We
about
thought
the
the third one was the
Yeah.
last one.
I don't know.
We even thought they were gonna die.
I don't know how you can keep making them after this. I don't. I think
I would like them to stop.
I mean, compare Toy Story to fucking climbing Mount Everest. You make it to Base Camp 1 and you have defied odds and done more than the majority of humanity will ever do as far as physical exertion and pushing your body to extremes. You go to fucking Base Camp 2 and it's like, yep, no one can come close to where you're at right now. Then you make it to the peak, and there is literally no higher point on Earth. And then you put a fucking 25-foot ladder on top of the peak, and it's like, yep, now I'm the highest. And then you're standing on top of that ladder, and it's like, whoa, I can go into space.
Yeah.
So
Someone's gonna get on that ladder and
so
smoke a joint and be like, "I'm the highest."
So you're
A
at
joint wouldn't burn that high up.
You're on top
Find a way.
of the ladder with the last Toy Story movie, and then all of a sudden, before you go to climb down the ladder and go back to the bottom of the mountain, you're like, I can go up there. And I know that once I get up there, I can go no higher. Because it's once you get to space, you're in fucking space.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go back down to another planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or you travel farther away. You're not increasing, you know?
See,
It's
my
all just
thing with-
relative distance at that point. So that's the comparison that, I mean, it's a fucking long-winded and weird comparison, but that's how it makes sense in my mind. Like, you fucking hit the peak, and
Matt,
then you
break
hit
this
the
down.
stratosphere.
Here's my thing with Toy Story 4. Kind of going off of your like little simile metaphor that you've done.
You like the picture that I painted.
I did. I really did. But with Toy Story 4, you know, it's a Pixar project. They're very stingy about sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look how long it took them to make The Incredibles 2. Like 14 years?
Monsters University.
Yeah. Like,
Which I didn't watch for a long time.
I fucking
It was
love
good.
Monsters
And my
University.
kid got into it the last couple months, and I fucking really dig that movie.
I actually like Monsters University more than Monsters Inc.
It was good because I like the way it tied a lot of things.
I
in,
related
like
more to
Randall.
Monsters University because I watched it when I was in college, and I was like, I feel like this.
Real quick, Pixar, we need a sequel to Monsters Incorporated where Kitty and Boo reunite on screen.
Amen.
We need it.
Amen.
Proceed with your chlorophyll, my man.
But I mean, like, Pixar is very stingy about giving us sequels. Like, normally they like to do one-offs. Like, they were very stingy about doing Toy Story 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Disney originally were like, hey, we wanted you to do a second one, they were like, kind of go fuck yourself. And then they were like, okay, maybe we'll do it. They were dead set about not doing a sequel to Finding Nemo, which at the time I think was their most successful
Absolutely.
Pixar movie they've ever done.
I think up until Up, eclipsed Finding Nemo.
I don't know. I know that Finding Nemo at one point was like by far their highest grossing movie.
Yeah,
Up-
I think
Up might have
it was
eclipsed
up
it.
until Up. I think Up edged
Yeah.
it out.
So I mean, they're extremely stingy about doing sequels. So I mean, you know, they came out with a third one. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna go do a third one now." It was fantastic. So I would assume, you know, they're gonna give us quality.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think. When I think of Pixar, I don't think of anything other than quality.
They-
You know, as far as animators go, I don't know that I would put anyone above Pixar.
I don't know about animation, but story and animation combined. Because I mean, like DreamWorks does fantastic with animation. I mean, look at the How to Train Your Dragon movies, Shrek.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But only the first one was good.
But that's where I tie in the story.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So
I like the second one.
I mean, I honestly enjoy all the Shrek movies. I get a kick out of all of them. But I like the first and the second one best. But I mean, like, you know, DreamWorks does really good. Disney itself is starting to do pretty good animation with like Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6.
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph is so good. I can't wait to see Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah, which again looks fantastic.
Still haven't seen it. Still haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph.
So fun. It's my like favorite.
Jennifer and I argued about this for 3 weeks. I'm probably not going to watch Wreck-It Ralph.
Why?
So just get over it.
I just love John C. Reilly. That's why I
mean, I do too, but I want to see him in like the new Sherlock Holmes movie and the serious Western that he's in. Like,
I like John C. Reilly.
I like
in serious roles.
John C. Reilly.
I do like him.
Yeah.
In serious roles.
Same with Will Ferrell.
Yeah?
Will Ferrell roles like Stranger in Fiction. Have you seen
Yes.
that?
Yes.
I need to watch that again. The
Super good.
series Will Ferrell I saw was Everything Must Go.
That was pretty good too.
Good movie. Mm-hmm. Good movie.
I don't think it's quite as good as Stranger in Fiction, though. Stranger in Fiction was fantastic.
I think we started watching it at Zach Schnepp's house.
He loved that movie. He was
I know he
obsessed
did.
with that movie.
Like we had one of our famous like Halo LAN parties out there, like 16,
God, I miss those days.
like 16, 20 teenagers and his little double wide. His parents like confined to their room.
Yes.
Cause,
So we're like spread throughout the kitchen, the living room, his bedroom.
Ethel, I tried to leave the room and they hissed at me.
I think we stole his sister's bedroom because we kicked her out of the house.
Yeah.
That night.
And then like the next day after, like we were just sick of fucking playing Halo 2.
Well, I think we played for like 19 hours.
Yeah, which after like hour 4 or 5, we just said we got tired of killing each other and decided to break the map, and we broke out of the map using sword canceling and super jumps.
The rocket sword stuff. Yeah.
But no, we just got fucking fed up playing Halo, and we decided. Zach's like, "Hey, let's watch Stranger Than Fiction."
No movie I always related to was Dan in Real Life with Steve Carell.
Oh, yeah, you and I watched that together.
Which kind of going back to like actors that have branched out.
Steve
Carell, man.
He's done a lot of serious movies lately.
Have you guys seen Walter Mitty's?
So
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yes, thank you. Fucking, I thought that was going to be
Good movie.
terrible with
good movie.
serious Ben Stiller, and I fucking loved it.
I was such a fan of that movie. Like, I think me and Kristen went and saw it in theaters. It was like we were down there at her parents for Christmas. And
Well, we
so
had the
good.
conversation with Alex the first time she was on the show about Sunshine of the Spotless Mind
Oh my God.
with Jim Carrey.
Stop it.
That's his fucking heart right there.
I know,
love that
but
movie, man.
When you get a comedian
The Truman Show.
that's very talented, normally you look at what's his name? Good Morning Vietnam.
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
Robin Williams,
Robin
thank you. It's a podcast, so my brain, in my mind, I'm talking so fast that I forget what I'm about to say immediately when I say it. So forgive me, anyone that's never listened to the show before, because this is what I do. It's how I do it.
The comments are popping a little bit.
I was getting ready to ask after we finish this exposition, but when you have someone that is so good at comedy, like statistically, it's proven that the best comedians are normally people that are struggling with mental health and have the most complex minds. When you allow, or when you kind of goad that comedian into opening another door and stepping away from comedy and being serious, normally it's gold. Steve Carell, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams. I mean, everyone that we have just named, very, very talented comedians. Also, some of the best, I would just label it as drama, actors in Hollywood. Hands down.
I would agree with that. And that, same with vice versa. Adam Sandler has not done well in any drama role. And, I mean, if you look at most of his movies now, they're not successful. Financially, they are. But critically and the way they're received, most people are like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Well, I think part of the reason that Adam Sandler isn't as successful now is because our generation really dug 90s Adam Sandler comedy. Today's generation grew up with Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
They don't.
See, I struggle watching Adam Sandler movies from like back in the 90s. Like
You're
No, I
telling me
don't.
right now,
Like
that
Billy
you can't-
Madison?
You
That
can't
used to
sit
be like
down
your
and
favorite fucking movie.
jam out to some Billy Madison.
I hate it now. I hate Billy
Wow.
Madison.
And that used to be his.
I'm like,
favorite
dude,
movie.
this movie is fucking
That and The
garbage.
Wedding Singer.
It's just nothing but fucking toilet humor.
But
Like,
that was '90s humor.
I still enjoy
That's
like
what it was.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore, I think is fantastic.
The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer is great.
Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds is
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like
Man, I thought that was
just-
one of his best.
like I don't know if like it's like I've just outgrown this toilet humor that like,
And that's
So
why-
is it just Adam Sandler, or
And that's
is
why
it?
I hate That's My Boy. It's just toilet humor.
Oh man, I love that one though. That's my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
We went over this a couple episodes ago.
So let me ask you this: is it just Adam Sandler, or is it all of those films? Because Chris Farley's stuff that he did in the '90s is still arguably the funniest shit in history.
I don't know about
Like,
history.
But
I mean, like,
I will go
like
on
on
record
SNL.
time and time again saying that Chris Farley is the greatest comedian of all time, and you can't tell me any different.
See, I like SNL, like SNL Chris Farley. I haven't seen stand up of his.
He did very little stand up.
I mean, I've seen a few Adam Sandler stand ups, and actually they're pretty funny.
The most recent Certified Fresh or
It's
100%
fantastic.
Fresh. You watched it?
Yep.
Dude, that Chris Farley
fantastic.
tribute.
Yep.
So like,
Watch it.
I mean, but I look at some of these Adam Sandler movies that he's produced on Netflix, like because he had like that 6-movie deal with Netflix, and like I've seen like half of them. They're all been awful. Like they've not been good.
Yeah, the Magnificent. What was it? The Magnificent Seven or whatever.
Magnificent Six, I think.
Yeah, where it's like him and like all of his brothers because his dad just went around whoring around.
And then there was like one where like
I like the Magnificent
he was
Six.
like he and David Spade were like running around like shooting people and stuff. I don't know. It's really bad.
The do-over. That was the do-over.
yeah.
Like that wasn't very good. And it's kind of like it's trickled to like the people that you associate with him too, like Kevin James. Like the only movie of Kevin James that I've liked in recent memory was Here Comes the Boom.
That movie was good.
Like I
That was
enjoyed
just a
that.
solid movie.
But other than that, like
But Kevin James did stuff on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like King of Queens is still one of the most successful sitcoms of all time.
I'd agree with that. But like to me, that's like more of a relationship humor. Like you're married, you understand how like relationships like I just pick at my wife all the time. Blaine's married now, so I mean
does the same thing.
He does the same thing. He hasn't been married as long as us, so he'll learn more about that.
Oh yeah.
But like, I don't know. That it reminds me a lot of Everybody Loves Raymond, which was
Yeah.
also extremely successful.
Yeah, Ray Romano is one of the most successful comedians of all time.
But I just watch those old Adam Sandler movies like Billy Madison, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is
Billy
this,
Madison, I'll
dude?
agree. Like, it's a lot of twist. I mean, I'll enjoy it still, but
I can't even do that. Like, I don't even think I can get through the movie anymore.
Wow.
wow.
Movies I can't get through. Movies like Pineapple Express.
Oh, I hate Pineapple
Not
Express.
funny at all.
No,
I hate
but-
Pineapple Express.
See, I'm not a big fan of like the big stoner humor movies either.
I really dig Knocked Up.
Knocked Up.
That was
good.
fun.
I think that is
Another solid movie.
I think that's a movie that blends very well the lines between comedy and real life.
Yep.
And Katherine Heigl's fucking hot, so it makes it definitely bearable.
It helps out a bit.
Yeah. Seth Rogen is a comedian that I never have really been a big fan of.
I like This Is the End with them though.
Dude, this
I
is
haven't
the end
seen
was
that.
good.
See,
They're just
I
playing
Just
like
because
themselves.
it's Seth Rogen, and I don't.
They're playing themselves.
I was very much against watching that. There's only 2 real Seth Rogen movies that I actually like, and it's The Interview, because I thought it was hilarious. But James Franco's character I thought was so funny in that movie.
God, I fucking hate James Franco.
I do too, but dude, his character in that movie is so fucking funny. He's just a guy who's an idiot.
yeah,
It's James Franco.
That's
Yeah.
James Franco.
Yeah, just a dude who's an idiot. And then I like This Is the End.
He got Eminem to admit that he was gay.
So Jonah Hill.
We'll see. Go ahead, sorry.
So Jonah Hill is another actor, going back to the comedian branching into the more serious drama roles.
That started with Moneyball.
Jonah Hill is doing that a lot more. He's got a new movie on Netflix.
Is it about like 90s kids or?
No, it's
No, that's one that's going to theaters.
him and Emma Watson.
Emma Stone.
Yeah. Are in like a mental
Oh, it's not a movie. It's a series.
I think it's a mini. I think it's a
Maniac.
mini series.
Yeah, I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a mini series. It's called Maniac.
Yeah. So, I think I really like Jonah Hill. Obviously I didn't like movies like Get Him to the Greek because fucking Russell Brand is awful, and it pisses me off that he got inside of Katy Perry and I couldn't. And he's a disgusting human being. It was not funny at all.
See,
His stand-up's good.
I actually
No,
really
I like
like
his stand-up.
No, it's not.
I like the character of
Aldous Snow.
Aldous Snow off of
Get Him to the
Forgetting
Greek
Sarah
was
Marshall.
so bad, though.
Yeah.
I loved Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Get Him to the Greek was okay. P. Diddy, honestly, was the best part of that movie to me.
Yeah.
But like, kind of going back to like that toilet humor. I used to love the movie Superbad.
Yeah.
It's one of those
I never
movies
liked
now.
that movie.
I loved it when I was in high school because I lived that life.
That's
like
yeah.
every
That's how
week.
That's how I was in high school. I was just trying to get laid nonstop. Could never do it.
Well, not so much me, but
That all I wanted was to get laid, and I couldn't do it.
I was
So-
I was very successful.
But it's just I watch it now and I'm like, what the fuck was I? Why?
Like there's a few things in there, but that's it. Like I think my favorite line from that movie was like, "Prepare to get slapped by the long dick of the law."
I think it was just Bill Hader and Seth
Bill
Rogen. Bill Hader and Seth Rogen in that movie were the only two best parts now that I look back at them. How the fuck did Michael Cera have a career?
He's Michael Cera. He defies everything.
God, he's fucking a terrible actor.
Like, how the fuck was he so successful with like Juno, Superbad, and like
Juno was good.
fucking Scott Pilgrim?
I
Like,
fucking hate Scott Pilgrim.
I like Scott Pilgrim.
like I said, Juno's a pretty good movie. That's one of those movies that blends like comedy and real life. But why the fuck was Michael Cera in it?
So, going back to what I said about Chris Farley, I will firmly stand my ground that he is the greatest comedian of all time, especially because he was robbed from us.
I love Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's funny, but
What up, kitty?
I've had a lot of these conversations about Chris Farley with the older generation of people where they're like, yeah, I mean, Chris Farley's great, but he doesn't compare to Jim Belushi. And I'm like, okay, watch Animal House and you'll agree with me.
John.
Yeah, John
Jim.
Belushi.
Jim is slang for John, but
But there already is a Jim Belushi.
yeah. I've heard it said both. Just accept it. John Belushi. John fucking Denver, okay? Anyway.
Richard Pryor is another good one.
Yeah, Richard Pryor, fucking
No,
Gene
that's-
Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Who else?
Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
Peter Boyle is fantastic as Frank, and everybody
Yes.
loves Raymond.
Who was I gonna say?
Frank was the best. Fucking
Shit,
Peter
now
Boyle.
I can't remember.
I mean, if you go off like who's got the most,
This
I guess,
recliner's
like,
making my
if you go
brain
by like
slow.
successful stand-up careers, I would say who would probably have the most successful stand-up career would be Eddie Murphy.
Chris Titus.
You don't really hear about him anymore, though.
Now. But
I would say
90s all the way through the mid-2000s.
Eddie Murphy, though. I mean, he had Raw.
He stopped doing stand-up, though,
Yeah, that's
a
forever
long
ago.
fucking time ago.
But I mean, like that.
Chris Rock.
It was
Dennis Leary?
It was so
Dennis Leary.
popular that it like propelled him
Yeah.
to that next level that made him
And-
more of a
and-
household name.
And it's timeless.
Yeah.
It's completely timeless. Like, you think Eddie
Dude,
Murphy...
if you want
that's
timeless,
one of
you
the-
watch Richard Pryor.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and George Carlin, yeah.
I don't think about...
George Carlin is another really good
I don't
one,
think
yeah.
about Eddie Murphy for his stand-up. I think about
Well,
Eddie
no,
Murphy
but
for, like,
that is
Beverly Hills
one of the
Cop.
things. That is, like, one of the pillars of Eddie Murphy is Raw.
I know it'd be a controversial one, but Bill Cosby was another guy very successful with stand-up. That's how he got his TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this dude was very similar to Robin Williams. Was a comic throughout the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
and then like he became this, Black Mr. Rogers.
Except
He wasn't.
if Mr. Rogers was a predator.
Super rapey.
Super rapey, pal.
Super
Whoa.
rapey.
Like,
You need to chill down those rape vibes.
I
there.
was down the hall with the bubbler, and he was watching me, and it was just super rapey, pal.
I was down the hall, and I could smell the chloroform from there.
Ooh-wee.
Oh boy,
But
too
I guess
much.
Raw Hefnol.
You could
Gets you every time.
you say today, you could possibly include Kevin Hart in that.
God, but Kevin Hart is not fucking funny at all.
See, we think that, but I mean, like, the dude's selling out fucking football stadiums
I like Kevin Hart.
to people.
He's
I don't
not
like
funny.
I like his stand-up.
He's not
His stand-up
funny.
is funny.
I think he's midway, like mid-tier. He's
You know
got
who,
some funny
you
stuff.
know who's a funny stand-up comedian? Jim Coy. Or Joe Coy.
Joe Coy, fuck yeah, he
Joe
is.
Coy is a
I
good
love
stand-up
Love Joe
comedian.
Coy.
What-
Tom
there's this-
Segura.
Tom Segura
There's
is
this
funny.
guy from Chicago. His
Kevin
name's
Hart is
Sebastian.
not fucking funny.
Kevin Hart is funny.
So you're saying that
I like
Kevin
Kevin
Hart
Hart.
is as funny as Joe Coy?
Absolutely not. I'm just saying he's funny.
You know who is actually funnier? Bill fucking Burr.
Yes.
I fucking love Bill Burr.
And Joe Rogan's stand-up is actually really
Joe
funny,
Rogan's
too.
is hilarious. Ron White's newest one is excellent too.
I haven't heard that. I need to watch
It is good.
I got over those guys a long time ago.
No.
Ron-
Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy, nah, fuck
Yeah.
them.
You forgot another one.
Bill Engvall and Ron White, those are the two fucking funny
I
ones
enjoy
right there.
Bill
Yeah,
Engvall still.
But I got over their stand-up a long time ago.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
not funny anymore.
It is now. Watch the latest
I did.
Ron White.
Jeff
You watched
Dunham
him
is
as
what.
well?
Yeah.
You
Jeff
didn't like
Dunham is that one I got over.
Man,
Yeah, Jeff Dunham was
I fucking hate Jeff Dunham since the beginning.
yeah, he stopped
Always
being funny
fucking
after the
hated
first
him.
time. You know, he used to be really funny to me, Stephen Lynch, with the fucking guitar,
Yeah.
the one that does the D&D song.
I liked him.
D&D.
Yeah, I liked him for a while, and then I was like, "This is dumb as fuck."
I
Jack
never,
Black and fucking Rage in the Cage.
yeah.
Their shit's good.
I never liked Bo Burnham.
No, me
I
I
neither.
never
neither.
liked him.
Dimitri Martin, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's okay.
I didn't really like him ever.
You know who I think's not funny?
Daniel Tosh.
Fucking Daniel Tosh.
He's trash.
I love his stand-up.
Kevin Hart is funnier than Daniel Tosh.
I
And I
love-
would not piss on Kevin Hart if he was on fire.
I am telling you right now, I love Daniel Tosh's stand-up. I hate Tosh.0.
You want to know
His
who's a
stand-up
terrible
is
stand-up?
Tosh.0.
No, it's
Yes, it
better.
is.
Amy Schumer.
Oh, fuck Amy
Yeah,
Schumer.
fuck Amy Schumer.
She's like Amy Schumer.
Thank God
What I
her
don't-
fucking career died.
What I don't understand is she had that like scandal where she was stealing jokes, and like so Joe Rogan
A lot
got
of people.
Carlos Mencia like 10+ years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Super hard about
Dude.
it.
I was getting ready to
he
bring
was-
up Carlos Mencia.
He was fucking following Carlos Mencia around.
Yeah, and like he would go on stage and call him out on this shit.
D-d-d.
But yet Amy Schumer does the same thing, and like they're defending her on like Joe Rogan's podcast, and I'm like, why? And he was like, I just think it's a creative problem. Like someone's having a because she's not writing all that material for a show. It's like I just literally watched a 35-minute compilation video of our compilation, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Compilation.
But
We're here for you.
thank you. But like I watched.
R&D department's on it.
But I watched that 35-minute video of the original joke and then her telling of the joke immediately afterwards. She literally went on Ellen and told Ellen her fucking joke. And they're just like, oh, no, she didn't steal jokes. Motherfucker, yes, she did. Like, I'm so happy her latest stand-up was so trash that people were like, why the fuck did I watch this girl?
Well, let alone her movies.
I just went to see Trainwreck for John Cena.
God, it was bad.
And LeBron James.
God, it was fucking bad.
It was
though.
bad, but God, I love John Cena's lines in it. Hey, I will fuck you. LeBron James.
It was bad.
LeBron James was funny in that movie too.
LeBron James isn't funny.
I thought he was fucking hilarious.
I hate
Who
LeBron
wants to go to
James.
Cleveland? I do. But anyway,
No
Amy
more
Schumer.
comments.
I don't understand why they were defending her when she's stealing jokes. Like they didn't. Nobody defended Dane Cook.
No, I didn't really see a lot of people calling him out though.
Louis C.K. He was the cool guy about it. Like, everyone's like, dude, Louis, he's stealing your shit, and he's just like, it is what it is. But like, it totally was.
God, you want to talk
stolen.
about underappreciated comedians? Fucking Louis C.K.
I love Louis C.K.
But you don't fucking hear about him
because he got hit by the fucking Me Too movement, and
Yeah.
you know what he did? He said he owned up to it,
Yeah.
and then he just faded off.
He handled it the most mature way. Hell, he's making a comeback now.
Good.
He handled it the
Good.
most mature,
'Cause he
like
did.
when Kevin Spacey and all them, like he got hit at the same time.
Yeah, and you know,
Kevin
and
Spacey, all of them denied it.
you
He
know
was
what
just
Louis
like,
C.K. He's like, you
yeah,
know what?
I did all that. I didn't know it wasn't right.
You know
I
that
really
was
sorry.
pretty inappropriate of me, and I shouldn't have done that. That's all he had. That's all any of them really had to do. But everybody is still like, burn him at the stake.
I don't want to like say it's like a good thing, but at the same time, it's just like everybody makes a mistake at one point. Like,
Not to mention, well,
and I mean, what you might interpret as like a bad.
Don't
signal-
misunderstand us, folks.
Yeah.
We're not defending rape culture on
No, what
this
what
podcast.
might
We're breaking it down. Bear with us.
what
Yeah.
might be interpreted by someone as inappropriate is not interpreted by the other as inappropriate. You know, like
Goes
that's
back
all.
to why I said I don't believe in censorship.
That's all subjective.
I don't think it's inappropriate. You might disagree. You might catch Maverick watching porn and say, "Yeah, you're a little young to watch porn." I might catch Maverick watching.
he's 4 years old.
I might catch Maverick watching porn, and I might high five him and then go grab a beer.
Put
you
your
know,
dick away, boy.
it's just it's. I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't understand that whole me. I understand it, but I think it might be a little bit blown out of proportion.
Yes, like every other issue in America.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got popping in the comments before we get to another topic stream.
A while ago, Mike Norris of Game Addicts Podcast said, "Tyler McLaughlin, I miss you."
I still miss you, Mike.
He-
I'm ready to get back on Game Addicts whenever you guys will have me, because I got a lot of video game stuff I want to talk about.
Ethan Henderson says, "Someone take their shirt off," and then he commented on
Matt's
me.
gonna take his shirt off now.
He commented on me saying something about lighting a joint on top of Mount Everest. He says, "I'd make it burn up there on that ladder."
Well, we got
white as fuck.
Well, we got way
Yeah.
back. Well, we got way back in the beginning. I saw Skylar commenting.
Skylar hasn't commented. She was
What did
here.
Andy say?
Andy says, "Winter is here." LOL.
Yes, yes, it is. Unfortunately, it's pretty awful.
Not
Nate-
technically.
Nate Phillips says, "LMAO hashtag with Matt." AJ just popped in. He says, "Butt stuff hashtag obligatory pod blessing." You don't get to do that.
But does he? I think he
He's
does.
not the pod daddy.
But he's like one of our biggest fans.
He is.
We shall take your blessing.
You're not the cat that I accept.
What's wrong with Loki?
He's not the cat that I accept.
It's the cat you deserve, but not the cat you need.
No, he's not the cat that I deserve. Baxter's the cat that I deserve. Which is why he's the cat that I accept.
Where? So, what do you guys want to talk about next?
Have you guys ever like sneezed so hard you like cracked a rib?
Yes.
I did that the other day. I either cracked it or something. Like I felt a pop.
I cracked my back doing one.
Ugh.
Are you
It
sure it
hurts.
wasn't your diaphragm? Your
No,
sternum?
it's right here. It's a rib. And it hurts to sneeze and laugh now.
Well, more than likely, it's
It's probably just a bruise.
probably a muscle.
Yeah.
I fucked my foot up pretty good. Similar. Kind of.
Well, you know how I said I've cracked my sternum twice? Like now, it's the point now where I'm using my upper body so much to lift heavy things again that like periodically through the day I have to push my shoulders way back and then push my chest way forward and like lean my head back and pop my sternum. And it's incredibly painful. But I have to do it or else like it fucking my shoulders get like wedged in a position that I don't want them in and it's uncomfortable. So I have to do that periodically through the day. It's pretty miserable.
I have to occasionally pop mine.
But since I have cracked my sternum and now I do that regularly throughout the day, like I have sneezed so hard that my sternum has popped and it brings me to tears. Like, it is that fucking painful. So I feel you.
Fucked my foot up pretty good.
Before you got here, Brando was here.
Okay.
He popped in. I was letting him borrow my Tascam interface, and I just also want to show him the house. But yeah, he brought up a really interesting point about Obi-Wan.
Did you touch him?
No. Obi-Wan is not the master of the high ground.
I brought that up.
Oh, wait, that was you. That was
Yeah.
you.
I thought you were
it
just
was
being
Brandon.
an asshole.
No,
I thought it was Brandon.
You're a fuck. I
Fuck.
brought that up.
That's a good point. Let's talk about it. Bring it up again.
All right, let me find it. Just a minute.
I could have swore that was Brandon. What the fuck?
Are we gonna also talk about the Jar Jar Binks theory?
No.
No. Talk
No.
about your foot while I'm trying to find this.
Oh yeah, well.
Let's talk about your foot.
So I
now.
moved from Chicago,
Yeah.
and I was carrying like one of those like cube shelf things.
Ah, yes, we
I was
have
carrying
those.
them down the stairs, and I thought I was on the ground because I looked like I was on the ground. So when I stepped down, there was one more step. So I just missed it, and then my right foot caught the corner of it and rolled, and when it hit the ground, everything in my foot just popped. So like I just have nothing but like bruises all up and down my feet right now, or my foot, and it hurts to walk. More than likely just a high ankle sprain, but you know, maybe I broke my foot. I don't know. Hurts though. It's big. It's bigger.
Show me.
I can show. You want to see?
Let me see it. I want to see it.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
It's not as bad as it was, but
Your foot looks like mine did when I got bit by a brown recluse.
and then I got the bruise there. And there's one on the outside there.
Goddamn. Take some Tylenol, boy.
So anyway, I can't find the exact post. God, Jennifer Aniston was hot in the 90s.
I was always more of a Monica fan.
God, look at this though. You can't tell me that that's not like perfect 10 out of 10.
I mean, she was with Brad Pitt, and they were both pretty 10. And
God, they were beautiful together. Anyway, I can't find the exact post. I thought that I shared it, but I don't think I actually did. Saw this post earlier today that said Obi-Wan was actually the master of the low ground and not the master of the high ground. And it proceeded to go into it like step by step. So in the beginning, Obi-Wan killed Darth Maul from the low ground. Moving forward, he kills General Grievous from the low ground, giving up his position in the high ground to take said low ground and then go even lower when he shot him. So we're in 2 stages of master of the low ground.
also to build off that, he never had a low ground advantage against Count Dooku and got beat by Dooku twice.
Yes,
Yeah, Dooku whooped his ass both times.
Yeah,
he made a fool out of him.
he needed that low ground. And then at the end of the film where everyone's like, he's a master of the high ground. You can't fucking take me on the high ground, Anakin. When in reality, he was just goading his apprentice into attacking him. Therefore, taking the high ground, giving Obi-Wan, master of the low ground, an advantageous position to then cut off one of his arms and his legs. Like, he is the master of the low ground. This almost broke me today at work. I was scrolling through and I saw that, and I was like hysterically laughing back in my area that I call the hot box.
I just don't see any flaw to that
No,
logic
there's-
at all.
there's none.
There's like none.
I wish I could find this because I want to give this person that posted this originally credit.
It's all there.
Because
Like I'm in my head, I'm trying to break down like any flaw I could see with it, and I'm just like, there's not really a flaw to it.
oh, I might be getting close. Stand by me, folks. Keep talking.
But
Stuff and things.
I
Good
think
job,
maybe
Matt.
Anakin is maybe his just arrogance got the best of him.
No,
maybe that
I
was-
think it was the high ground.
Why couldn't it be? It could have been a combination of the
I think
both.
the high ground got him, Matt.
It could have been a combination of both.
I think you're looking way too deep into this, Matt. You need to just accept what's right in front of you, what you can
Let me ask you this
physically,
question.
visibly see.
What advantage does the high ground give you in a fucking sword fight?
You can poke people when they can't poke you.
But you can.
Yeah.
Poke them. Let's say you're on a fucking hill. One person's down here, the other person's down there.
You can charge them and use your momentum to take them out.
And they have to work harder to get uphill.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Gravity.
you have a better.
Found it! Fucking found it!
You have a better
Alright, shut up,
swing
Matt.
advantage to their legs.
Obi-Wan is the master of the low ground. Proof. Slashed Darth Maul into 2 after being in the low ground. Gave up high ground to say the iconic, "Hello there," and proceeded to shoot General Grievous from the low ground. Taunted Anakin that he had the high ground, which as his pupil, Anakin knew that high ground was not his specialty. And in burst of anger, leapt above him and gave Obi-Wan the advantage of the low ground. So this was posted by Manuel Ritchie in the Just Jedi Memes group, shared by James T. Wolfgar of Wolfgar Props and stuff.
And stuff.
And his caption for this post was, "And there was this mind-blowing revelation." And it is exactly that, folks. It is that. I can't believe I fucking found it.
Happy for you. Skylar says, don't forget to ask the question.
Skylar, text it to me because I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
Well, God damn it.
Like,
Who killed JFK?
I think we killed JFK, but
I was just going based off the comic book character, the question, who's all about conspiracies.
Dead Space. So,
Yeah, we got Clint Chase in here.
yee, Clint, you need to get back on here.
And Brandon Stone.
as well as Brandon Stone. God, I'd like to get them both on here at the same time.
That'd be cool.
Be a good dynamic.
That'd be cool. I can't wait till we can get a couch down here.
Me too. This folding chair sucks.
Oh, okay. So, on the way here, I did my normal call my wife on my way home from work, make sure that I don't have to be forced into going somewhere, blah, 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 blah. And we're chatting on my drive, and she said that she was going to make some bacon in the oven.
Okay.
Which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
But it's my wife, who's notorious for not cooking well. So I said, please don't catch the house on fire. And she said, well, if you did, you wouldn't hear anything. And I said, well, I would hope that, you would grab our child, grab the dogs, and get out. And then let me know that you caught the house on fire, so I could start to take the steps to replace my home, Because as much as I hate that house, I have to have a place to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like 8 degrees outside, so I don't really want to sleep in my truck.
That's fair.
And she proceeded to go forward, as far as priorities of stuff to grab if the house were on fire. And I said, well, we can replace pretty much everything in the house except my Xbox and my PlayStation. And she's like, what? Are you fucking serious? I said, yeah, those are priceless at this point. My passport, I can fucking replace that in 6 weeks. My birth certificate, all I have to do is contact the United States consulate to get my certificate of birth abroad. I can replace that. I have 1 million copies of it anyway because it's such a pain in the ass to get a new one. But it's still replaceable. It's not like going to the courthouse and getting your birth certificate. Mine's from fucking Europe. A little more difficult.
Yeah.
Social Security card. I gotta go down to the fucking office. They'll send me one in the mail. Real simple. It's not like I have a bunch of money stuffed into a mattress. So pretty much most of the shit in my house can be replaced.
If you did, that mattress would burn up with the money.
Yeah, I couldn't replace that. So that's why I don't put money in a mattress.
That's fair.
And it's bad for your back. But
it's good. It's good for AIDS.
Yes.
That's Maggot Johnson.
Yes. But all the
Still alive.
But like all the like pictures and canvases and stuff on the wall of like my family and my kid, I can replace all those because they're all internet pictures anyway.
Yeah.
Like that shit's up there in the cloud. I can fucking get that whenever I want. All the information that's on my Xbox and my PlayStation, irreplaceable. There's only a finite amount of that that's floating around up in the cloud. Can't replace it.
All my achievements,
It's gone.
my trophies.
And Skylar looked at me and she's like, "You have got to be fucking kidding me." And I said, "No, I'm telling you right now, if I had to choose between saving you and saving that Xbox and that PlayStation,
I'll kick you over.
I'm fucking grabbing that Xbox and that PlayStation. Because I've devoted a lot of my life, and it's all been enjoyment. It's not been any sorrow, no heartbreak, no stress. It's all been enjoyment."
That's how I feel about my Switch now.
Yeah. And she's like, "Well, I want you to ask Blaine and Matt on the podcast tonight what they would do if their house was on fire. What they would save."
The Switch
Thank you.
with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Thank you. One of my friends, not to change the subject real quick, but my buddy Andy has already maxed out his Pokedex. He's caught them all. All 152.
Well, I mean, you can.
152?
There's 152.
There's 153 actually.
What's the third?
The evolve form.
Meltan?
The Meltan, yeah.
Okay. So Meltan's 152.
But I mean,
okay.
you can't get them for like 8 weeks minimum. It's fucking crazy grind. But no, I mean it's not hard because I mean they integrated Pokemon Go, and I mean basically everybody has like that plays consistently, I should say, has basically their Kanto Pokedex full already. So they'll just all you have to do is just get to one point in the game and you can just transfer everything to your.
That's fair.
And I mean the whole game is literally about catching Pokemon. You get more experience from catching Pokemon than battling trainers. So just catch everything.
All right.
So you would take your Switch?
I would take my Switch.
So this is assuming like
You have time. You have time to grab whatever you want.
Okay.
I would take my Switch and my my Groove white cheddar Cheez-It crackers.
That's fair. I like your style.
A happy man after that.
Assuming the wife and kids already got out safe, I'd grab this computer and my PRS guitar.
Okay.
That's it.
Clint's blowing up our comment.
I
feed
trust
right now.
that Kristen can get out on her own.
Only the strong survive.
She's a capable human being.
Clint says, "What's this place?" And then he says, "Most of that is on the cloud." Then he says, "I just bought a brand new Xbox and didn't back up anything, as majority of it was on the cloud, at least for Xbox. So at least you can leave that behind and grab the pug."
I'm not going to grab the pug, and the majority of my Xbox stuff is not on the cloud. It's on a hard drive. It's plugged into the front of the Xbox.
So just grab the hard drive.
Yeah, but
Just grab the whole Xbox, man.
Like-
Whatever, dude. You're not his dad. You don't tell him what to do.
yeah, don't tell me how to live my life. Get the fuck out of my life, Cal.
Tell me how to live my life.
Fuck out of my life, Cal. Fuck you, Iraq.
We need a meme. We need to make
just
a meme
grab
that says, "Make Podcastrophe Chaw again."
Yeah, we do. Nate, get on that.
Just grab your Xbox. It's your life, dude.
Thank you. What were we going to talk about? I feel like we were going to talk about something,
I don't know.
and then we got sidetracked.
I think that was it.
Yeah,
this
that might have
fucking
been it.
this recliner, man, it's making my brain like oatmeal.
I'm glad you enjoy it. Like, so the story behind this recliner,
The throne.
my grandmother bought it in an auction for my dad. My dad took it and didn't like it. Would rather have his one that he's been using for the last 20 years. Which there's nothing wrong with that. It's got character.
This doesn't even smell like old people.
Awesome. So he asked me, he's like, "Hey, I got a recliner and I don't want it. Do you want it?" I was like, "Maybe." So I texted you. I was like, "Hey, I have a question. Hey, it's serious," because you didn't respond.
Well, I was in the mountains,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
had no service. I didn't have service
I
one day
figured
for
you
like
were
8 hours.
I figured you were just doing something anyway, so I was just being an asshole.
I thought
Typical.
something was seriously wrong.
No, I said, how would you like to...
We drove up to the top of a mountain which borders North Carolina. Like, the top of the mountain is split in half between Tennessee and North Carolina. And then we drove to the bottom of that mountain, which is an Indian reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina, which is a shithole, like most Indian reservations are. Immediately turned around, drove back into Tennessee and back to our cabin. And
Were you in like Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg?
we stayed outside of Gatlinburg. But I get back to the cabin. With T-Mobile, I've always had Wi-Fi calling. So whenever I don't have service, as long as I have Wi-Fi, I have cell phone service. I turned on my Wi-Fi when I got back to the cabin, and I got hit with like 300 Facebook notifications and your messages that said, "Hey, I have a question.
Here's how it
It's
went.
serious."
Here's how it went. Friday, 12:39 p.m. I must ask you a question. 12:49 p.m. And it's really important.
Yeah, I got those at the same time, and I was like, "Oh fuck, something's wrong."
4:29 p.m. What? I haven't had service in hours. How would you feel about having a recliner for the podcast? That'd be fucking awesome. Well, guess what, pal? What? Old Dad's getting a recliner.
Old Dad's got a recliner.
Heart, 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 heart.
I'm a bit salty that you didn't ask me. Like, you could have asked me. I had service.
I like that we're about to debate this right now.
I'll rock, paper, scissors you for it.
I'll fucking kick you in the nuts.
Clint says,
I'll catch your foot, motherfucker.
Clint says, I'll tell you what to do. I'm bigger than you.
Yeah, but
Skylar says, yes, grab the pug.
I've got lower center of gravity, Clint. You can't fucking beat that.
Science, bitch.
You can take
Retort.
your fucking reach and your long legs and shove them up your ass. Because once this low center of gravity gets a hold of you, that's what I'm going to do anyway.
Oh.
Yeet. I've come accustomed the last couple weeks to just going yeet.
Yeet.
Like I used to go yeet and be all fucking wound up about it.
Fucking at work at Subaru, you and Cameron go, yeet!
He would go like full autistic screech.
Oh, he still
with
does.
it. And then now I'm to the point where I just go.
Because I'm sensitive about my chicken legs.
Now I just go yeet.
It's just,
Like I'm just defeated. Like yeet. I'm so excited.
I don't know why, but when you said, like, I've gotten into, like, the habit lately of just going yeet, made me think of something my cousin said. We were playing games the other night, and we were on Discord, and he was in the middle of, like, talking in a sentence, and he just stopped. And there was, like, a 30-second pause, and I was like, you gonna ever finish your sentence? He's like, I've been in the habit of not finishing my sentences lately. And I was like, the fuck kind of habit is that, Zach?
No, for real though. Like for a long time, like maybe for like 6 months, while I worked at Tate and Lyle, there was a period of time where, like, I cornered Skylar one day, and I was like, "Look, I need to ask you like a serious question. Like, do you think I've been acting weird lately?" And she's like, you know, of all, like, Skylar is the least aware person in my life. And she's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And I was like, "Well, I feel like the last, 4 or 5 months, like, I'll be talking and then I'll just stop." But like when it's happening, it feels really uncomfortable. I know it's happening.
Are you having a stroke?
Well, that's what it was like. Like,
Dude, you might be having a seizure.
I would be having a conversation with somebody just like this, and then all of a sudden I would just stop. And then like 30 seconds later I would come back, but then I couldn't remember anything that I was just talking about. Like, it was gone. Like, it never happened.
Yeah, dude, not to scare you. You might have had a seizure.
Well, I learned that my brain was basically micro napping
Yeah.
from sleep deprivation. So all of my higher cognitive function at certain periods of the day would just stop. So, like right now, this conversation, my brain would say, let's pull the fucking e-stop because I need a break. Because I was so stressed out. I was running on such a little amount of sleep. I was so sleep deprived. My fucking nutrition and hydration were at absolute minimums. You know? I was basically living off of grease and Mountain Dew. And my brain just couldn't fucking handle it anymore.
That's the breakfast of champions right there.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, it was bad.
Talking about bad. So, you know Joe's missing teeth?
Mm-hmm.
And the sliver of a tooth? The sliver is gone.
Oh.
As of today. We witnessed today. It's gone.
Rocky get a hold of it?
I don't know. Maybe it got dusted.
You think he ate it?
I think he swallowed it in his sleep, more than likely, yeah. So Joe, last place, it was his house, and like at some point he lost his teeth because they just crumbled and fell out, and he never got them replaced. So, but there was just like a tiny, like half a tooth just still in the socket. Well, it's just gone. It's just gone. Which I don't know if you were paying attention to our group chat, but
Thanos had it.
yeah, that's got dusted. I don't know if you were paying attention to the group chat last week, but so we have a new temporary. His name's John. He graduated with Austin Welch.
Yeah, I've been wanting some backstory on that, but I haven't wanted to put forth the effort to ask.
Him and Jeremiah were both on 16 together, and John was talking. John talks a lot, and he talks really fast, especially if it's about something that he's like really passionate or likes a lot. He was talking to Jeremiah about The Witcher 3.
Okay.
Joe is on quality. He couldn't participate in the conversation, so therefore he was bored. Therefore, he was really butthurt and or about to go to his dark place.
Okay.
So he was going around like doing like drive-by bitchings to us all.
Okay.
In between, like this.
I'm mad.
Yeah, he was like, "God, they won't stop. About to fucking fall asleep." This is the second quarter.
Okay.
He comes to lunch, just bitches about it, and I'm like, "That's a really good game, though, Joe." Like, I'm just trolling the shit out of him, and he doesn't understand it. And then, and the funny thing is, Jeremiah traded to work there. I think he traded somebody because they didn't want to work with John. He's kind of unpleasant sometimes.
How so?
He just talks a lot. I like him. He's an all right guy. He means well. He just talks really fast. He drinks 7 Monsters a day.
Okay.
So then, poor Loki.
It's my recliner, cat.
So, fourth quarter, Teresa puts Jeremiah and John together on 16 again with Joe on quality.
Yes.
And we knew both of them already knew he was bitching about it. And like, so they started talking about it, and Joe literally walks by me and goes, like, this is exact quote, "Oh, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up."
Yeah, he did that a lot when I was...
And I'm like, dude, you're fucking 34 years old. Grow the fuck up and accept that people are going to talk about things that you either don't want to talk about or can't talk about. Mm-hmm. You don't have to participate in the conversation. Just do your job. Because he was a quality gate.
Or just say, hey, can you guys give it a break for a little bit?
No, he doesn't even fucking need to do that. Fuck that. Fuck him.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, any responsible, like, mature adult would say, hey, man, you know, you guys have been talking about this a lot. Can you give it a break for a little bit?
The cats are fighting.
But he's not that.
The cats of our existence.
God damn.
That's Baxter.
Baxter, quit fucking with me.
Who's the winner of this engagement?
Typically Loki. Well, no, Loki has spirit. Baxter has power. Loki, I've witnessed him fucking launch himself at Baxter, and Baxter's like...
Loki is the Rey Mysterio, while Baxter is the Big Show.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Anyway, so Brandon's like, hey, tell Jeremiah to ask John about Gwent. If you've never played The Witcher, Gwent is like the card game, the card mini game.
It's the best trading or the best competitive card game I've ever played.
So Jeremiah asked him this, and John looks directly at me and goes, just shakes his head and smiles, and then he goes. And Joe is just breaking the fuck down.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
He is just So Black Friday or Thanksgiving, I was at Best Buy, and what do I see in one of the $20 bins?
The Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3 Complete Edition. I about fucking got it, and I was gonna just leave it in one of the empty rooms at Joe's that we have vacated.
Yes.
And just whenever Joe goes in there, just finds it just sitting there.
Did you do the Sunkiss thing?
No, I don't think we're gonna do that. And the ball pit is gonna take some time. I'm either gonna need to take donations to help get this going, because 1,000 ball pit balls costs a lot of money.
I have a bunch of them. I have a ball pit at my house.
We're going to have a ball pit over there? That sounds awesome.
That's gonna be our weightlifting area once we get all the shit out.
Nah, dude, it should be a ball pit.
Like, if you're going to have a weightlifting area, like, I'll actually come over here and show you how to lift weights.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll show you how to
He can do it
deadlift.
too.
I'll show you how to deadlift and not bitch about it.
No shit. Oh my god. It's called the man lift for a reason.
Dude, I never do it.
That's why you bitch about it.
I don't.
You do it.
I
once.
I did it way too heavy.
There's no such thing.
I've never not done it heavy.
Starting out when you don't ever do it, yeah.
Nope. Go
There's no
right
such-
to heavy. If you squat, you should be able to deadlift right now. No problem. It's a combination lift. So
Well, yeah, you're right. I think the way I was doing it was just completely wrong. I was doing good mornings. That's what Andy told me. Andy told me, he's like, "Oh yeah,
Don't
you're
listen to fucking Andy.
dude, he was
if
right.
you're gonna do good mornings, number one, you shouldn't do them with heavy weight ever.
Yeah, normally I do it with a 45-pound kettlebell
In each hand?
in just one.
Okay. Like, no. A good morning reasonably should be like 135 pounds.
That's where I was at.
Yeah, that's a reasonable good morning. The bar
Oh.
and a 45-pound weight on each side.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
And that was your heavy deadlift?
Look, it was heavy because I'd never do deadlift.
We'll get you there.
You gotta at least be at 350.
Guys,
Minimum.
Low center
I
of
don't-
gravity, my man.
I don't do deadlift.
Well, you're about to.
I need to.
Get your stuff in here. Clint's blowing up the comment feed again.
He said, I don't know why. He said that recliner will never be red leather.
No, it won't.
He
Red
says-
Lev, R.I.P.
He says canner?
Canner.
What's that?
Canner. It's a kid we went to school with.
Oh, and then he says, I show you how a man deadlifts. Let dad show you.
Yeah, bring Clint in here.
I believe that. I just don't do deadlift. I'll do everything else, but I haven't done deadlift.
It's the best lift for you
I believe that.
Also, the worst lift for you.
if you do it incorrectly.
Yes.
Dude, I got a question.
So,
What do you think about beardless Henry Cavill?
I have no the fuck idea what you just said.
Beardless Henry Cavill
Beardless
say-
Henry Cavill.
as The Witcher.
I'm totally okay with it. I loved his casting as Geralt of Rivia.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
That show is going to be a fucking dumpster fire because of
I think he's too pretty.
the
We need to ugly
he's
him
not,
up a bit.
No, I mean, have you seen the images?
Yeah,
He's not pretty.
a little too pretty.
Nah. But
I'm
all
with
of
Matt
the,
on that. I'm with Matt on that.
all of the
I think he'll pull it off though.
well, I think he's going to do a fantastic
Scruff
job.
him up a bit, and he'll be all right.
But
Yeah.
all of the production group of that show are all social justice warriors, and that's not good. We need to get away from that trend. Fucking stop being social justice warriors. Make the fucking material.
Rah!
We want The Witcher. Okay? Give us The Witcher.
We're talking to you, Kathleen Kennedy. You
It
fuck
needs
off.
to be gritty, and it needs to be visceral, and it needs to be fucking cruel. But still kind.
Needs to be rated TVMA.
Yeah.
PG-13.
I want to see people fucking eviscerated. I want to see Geralt of Rivia cut people in half. That's what he fucking does. Okay?
I wish I
want to
would've
see him
finished that
shove his sword from the tip to the fucking hilt in a monster's asshole. Like, that's what we need. Fuck. Stop making about politics and fucking social justice. I don't fucking care. I want my character, I want my show, and I want my fictional universe that I fucking live vicariously through because you ruined society. Fuck.
What did you think of the new Monster Hunter image
God.
with Tony Jaa?
Fuck.
I haven't seen it.
It looks awful.
What?
It looks awful. It looks like they went to a Party City or a fucking, what's the other Halloween store franchise?
Halloween City.
No, it's like Halloween USA.
Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween, that's it.
Spirit, yeah.
It looks like they went to a Spirit fucking Halloween and bought all their costumes, and then, like, they didn't have all the stuff they needed, so they bought, like, this is like pleather from an Indiana Jones costume. You think this will work? Yeah, throw it on there. What? Throw it on there. Just make it work. Like, it looks fucking awful. Mila Jovovich, stop making movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I had faith in you with the Resident Evil movies. After 3, I lost all faith in you. You ruined it.
I was about to ask, what has she made? I don't know.
You ruined it.
Yeah, you said Resident Evil. I was like, okay.
She made The Fifth Element, which is one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time, but
It's okay. It's not my favorite. I'm not a big sci-fi
it's a
person,
fucking
though.
cult classic.
It is.
If you insult it, I'll break your neck.
Yeah.
That's a lot of neck to break.
I'll fucking make it happen. Low center of gravity, my man.
Stand on my tiptoes.
I'll make you lean down.
Clint says my videos have higher productions cost.
Yes. Thank you, Clint. Thank you.
I'll say my opinion for when we get a trailer.
I think it'll be a while.
Dude, I haven't even seen the image that you're talking about.
It's pretty bad. You want to pull it up?
I'll trust you unless Wayne pulls it up.
I mean, you can pull it up pretty quick.
I'll pull it up.
Blaine's gonna pull it up. So you and I are both obviously big fans of the Monster Hunter franchise. We played the shit out of the fucking new game. You played slightly more than I did, just because I got tired of it. Before you keep going through before you put these pictures on the feed, you and I were really excited about this, and then we started to get these set photos. And then as we were talking about it with Shane, you said, what is it? Like, they fall through a fucking portal to another dimension, and then they have to fight monsters? And then we pulled up a fucking synopsis of the script of the film.
And it was literally
It was literally verbatim what Blaine had just said. So, some fucking soldiers fall through a portal. These aren't the photos that we need.
Who posted it? Who posted it? It was in one of our group chats. It was AP, wasn't it?
No, I put it in the group chat.
Okay, which one was it? Elite or Chill?
I think it was Chill.
All right, I'll look. Keep talking.
But, yeah, it's basically fucking United States soldiers fall through a portal in fucking dimensionary portal, and now they have to fight monsters, and like, you can't come up with a more complex script than that. Like, you don't even have to. Like, the script is there. Just fucking give us the universe of Monster Hunter. You don't need any backstory. You don't need any fucking pre-character development. Like, that's all it has to be. It's very simple.
I mean,
Did I put it in the group chat, or did I just send it directly to you?
I remember it being in the group chat.
I'll look at the same time as you.
I mean, we yell about that all the time with like comic book movies and stuff. Like, you have the source material. Why not just use it?
Yeah, just you don't have to put your spin on everything. Utilize the fucking source material.
But I don't know. I feel like Hollywood has a really big problem with doing, like, taking an original idea and then just putting it, or taking an idea that has been a generational story or something, and then just translating that into a film.
Yeah.
Like I said, we say that about superhero movies and stuff all the time. It's just like, and I guess we get the excuse of, well, not everything translates to film perfectly.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like with the effects that we have nowadays, a majority of the visual stuff can be. And story-wise, I mean, some of these like deeper, complex stories that get into more character development, that's really what we need. Like, you're telling me that like we couldn't do like a live-action Mask of the Phantasm?
Oh, God. But see, like, I'm to the point now where I think if they did a live-action Phantasm, that it would be doing the original film a disservice. Because Mask of the Phantasm is perfect in every way.
And I would agree with that. But, I mean, like, do we think that because we're like, oh, they would probably try to put their own spin on it?
I think if they did live-action Mask of the Phantasm and did not change anything, I still don't think it would be as good as the original animated film, just because it is the most perfect animated film I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, like, also this, like, I wonder if it's like instilled in our head that there's, like, it's just gonna be like, oh well, you know, we have these movies that we really enjoy, like we talked about Lion King and stuff, and it's just like, you know, are we gonna be super critical about it because of that?
Did you get it? I was getting ready to send it to you. Okay. So yeah. So things that I before we say anything else about this, things that I appreciated about this. I think the great sword looks great,
That's probably the one they made at Rooster Teeth.
and that's about it. That's all I got. I think
fantastic.
Tony Jaa's outfit looks dumb.
I don't know why it's not pulling it up, but
You have it on the right monitor?
I don't know. Yep, there it is. It changed.
Like that just it fucking looks bad.
But
Yeah.
that looks like Monster Hunter armor to me. I don't think it looks terrible.
It looks like
I'll say this
Mila
coming from-
Jovovich's Resident Evil meets a B movie on sci-fi.
from
Honestly-
someone who does not play Monster Hunter.
This kind of looks like Otogaron armor right here,
It looks like
as seen
riot gear to me.
from tattoo.
Like I said, like this is coming from someone that doesn't play. She looks like she did exactly in like one of the Resident Evil movies,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
man.
he looks like he's from like one of those old Mortal Kombat movies.
Yes.
And that is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So we got the plot rundown, also released today. Behind our world, there is another, a world of dangerous and powerful monsters that rule their domain with deadly ferocity. When Lieutenant Artemis, already awesome names, and her loyal soldiers are transported from our world to the new world, the unflappable lieutenant, unflappable, what a word
Okay.
to describe that. Unflappable lieutenant receives the shock of her life. In her desperate battle for survival against enormous enemies with incredible powers and unstoppable revolting attacks, Artemis will team up with a mysterious man who has found a way to fight back.
He's gonna do some crazy ass knees, Muay Thai knees.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're talking about Monster Hunter, Blaine.
So he's rocking a bow and a greatsword.
Yeah,
And they have the slingers.
I saw.
His real weapons are his fist.
Let me ask you this, Blaine. How would you feel if I matched your Otogaron armor in the same place, except I did Anjanath? Would it make your heart happy?
What? Oh, okay. Like we did a matching thing. Okay, I get. You're
But I
talking
did
about tattoo.
Anjanath instead of Otogaron.
I can't remember what the Anjanath arms looked like.
Well, I mean, I don't really care about his arms. I mean, it's armor. Like his skin.
Is Ron Perlman in this movie?
That's what his skin looks like.
I mean, maybe.
You might want to switch back to us.
It's already switched back.
Like
Huh.
it wouldn't make your heart
Yeah,
happy.
I forgot.
I just don't know about Anjanath.
So you like the idea, just not the choice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's analyze. Let's let you analyze this for me. Like Ottagarin fit in my mind for you.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite monsters to fight. I love the armor style.
What in your mind fits for me?
Devil Joe.
Really? I fucking hate that armor.
The Vangus armor.
I want you to get a God of War 4 tattoo that literally just like has boy like on your back.
It would make sense with him too.
Yeah.
Because he's got Cameron.
Yeah.
Come boy. I just think it'd be fantastic.
I'm a god, boy.
I'm a god boy.
Still
I
haven't
wish
played
I
it.
wish I had his voice.
I want it.
You want to borrow it? You
I
don't
don't
have
have
a
a
PS4.
PlayStation.
Yeah. Sucks to suck.
I got the better console now.
The Switch.
The Switch. Dude, I've only had it for a week and it's already like my favorite console. Ever.
I about got one last week, but I elected not to.
I did.
I got a KitchenAid instead.
Worst mistake of your life.
So, I like a total asshole. So I didn't want to wait until her birthday or Christmas to give it to her. So there was like clothes from unpacking and just moving all over our bedroom floor. And she had asked me to put them up, which I didn't at all, by the way.
That a boy.
I'm just
Okay.
I should have, is what it is. So I pile all these clothes on top of the KitchenAid box. And it was blatantly obvious that there was something there. And like she comes in, looks, she's like, "Why haven't you put these clothes up yet?" And I'm like, I don't know. Thinking she would notice. No, she doesn't. She looks at this fucking pile of clothes on top of a box, blatant, like part of the box showing several times. Never once was like, there's something under there. Finally, like, she catches me, like, smiling and laughing at this. And she's like, what? And I, like, look. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I rip down the clothes and show her. And she's like, oh, my God.
I did
Oh my
something
God.
similar.
And then I said, look, it can hold 9 batches of cookies at once. That's a lot of cookies you can be making right now.
I did something similar. I bought the Switch and all this stuff, and I figured Chris would be mad at me because I spent a lot of money. So we were originally going to get it for our anniversary.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we'll get it for us for Christmas. So I was like, I'm going to combine the two. And so I, like, piled them up, and then I came up with, like, I'm like, she can't get mad at me if I come up with, like, a cute little phrase. So I was like, hey, Merry Anniversamus. And it worked.
Solid.
So you can
Nice.
use that if you need it.
So you're saying, Blaine, that is what I should get.
Maybe.
God, I need more money.
Or, wait, you hate Diablos, don't you?
Originally, when you said
Maybe Diablos.
Devil Joe, that's what I thought in my mind that you said was Diablos.
You hate Diablos, though.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, is that his bow?
That's the bow.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually the
Bow gun.
bow gun.
The
But
bow is weird. Like, it's just like a fist and it's like a
But-
Hulk hand.
but I actually really dig that, how it's kind of like speckled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
Or maybe you'll find a different one. I don't know.
But I feel like then we would be connected on a deeper.
Would you get the Hunter's Crest too?
Maybe. I mean, Erica's going to be the one to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet her eventually, Been waiting for that induction for a while and ain't got it yet.
Hey Baxter. Welcome back.
Thanks for coming back, Baxter.
I want to get a tattoo of the original Pokemon Game Boy cartridges. Like red, blue, yellow, and green.
I dig that.
I think that'd be cool.
Would you get the cartridge itself or just the graphic?
Like the cartridge.
Okay.
With the graphic on the cartridge. I think that'd be amazing.
There's a better representation of the flesh up close.
Okay. So I just got sent a meme, and I don't know what it says at all, but I'm going to read it live.
Okay.
Moms Against Fortnite is the name of the group.
Okay.
Like it already.
Susan Kindred says, my son was playing Fortnite. It says Fortnite time, and I told him to go to bed because it was 10 p.m. and he hit me with his RGB Razer keyboard I got him for Christmas last year and told me my husband Jerry was cheating on me with Deborah, our neighbor, and I'm currently digging his grave next to our garden. I hope it's not too cold for him to decompose. Love being a gamer, Mom. Get wrecked, George. Play Fortnite in hell.
You don't think Rathalos would be a better choice for me?
Hey, if you want to, Rathalos was one of my first choices, because it's the flagship monster since the beginning.
He's the guy.
Cat, you better get the fuck out of there. Get out of there.
Go on, get.
Yeah, he's been the flagship monster since the beginning of the game series, and but yeah, Rathalos would be cool. I don't know, it's tough. Like that's a personal choice, I would say, and I guess you chose Anjanath, but did I take that away from you?
No, I mean I was just going new generation of monsters.
Okay.
Audagarin and Anjanath were both new entries to the series, so it's kind of what I was going with.
Yeah.
I was more of a Randall fan.
Okay. Really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, man. Like I said, I don't play Monster Hunter.
Man, I told myself that I was gonna start this sleeve for myself for Christmas. I don't fucking have any money.
I feel you, dog.
Like I'm so fucking busy, and it's like, you gotta remodel a bathroom. Woo! I'm so glad I get to do that in the holidays, you know? God forbid I put it off for a month and a half. Oh, I did that.
We're doing our full bath too, so. It was so weird. So Baxter, he's usually the victim. Like Loki just attacks him out of the blue, just at random.
Right.
And he usually makes those sounds. And
Which one's making the sounds?
Oh, Baxter.
Okay.
All the way. He's a little bitch. Sometimes a lot of the times he just runs away, and Loki just chases after him and keeps pestering him. Because Baxter just doesn't want to be fucked with. Eventually,
He's
Baxter.
alpha cat.
Yeah. But he runs away, so that's not very alpha.
I mean, it is, though.
He's just like, dude, fuck off.
He doesn't want to waste his time, yeah.
But then there have been a lot of the times when I've been watching, Baxter literally just says fuck this, and he stomps Loki, but Loki doesn't give up, and they just fight. Then last night
Let them fight.
Last night or the night before, I heard him making those sounds, but this time he was charging after Loki, but he was making those bitch ass sounds.
I'm gonna get you!
And he went after Loki and he attacked Loki
I'm
himself.
tired of your shit.
But he was making those sounds. I was like, what are you doing? God.
You know, Baxter is just a strong, independent cat who wants to lay around and lick his asshole, which had a hole in it a while ago.
Story.
Smelled really bad.
True story.
Loki doesn't need to fuck with him when he's trying to lick his asshole. Like you're describing this whole situation to me, and I just picture Baxter sitting on his ass, licking his asshole. Because I imagine that's what Baxter does. You're not Baxter. And, Loki comes up and's like, hey,
No, Loki literally just...
Stop licking your asshole. And Baxter with a mouthful of asshole is like, no. I'm trying to lick my asshole. And Loki's like, I don't want you to have that mouthful of asshole. Like, stop it. Stop licking your asshole. Baxter's got more of a mouth of asshole at this point. He's like, no. No.
Welcome to Podcastrophe, Matt.
Episode title, Mouthful of Asshole.
Yeah.
Better get that asshole out your mouth right now.
Yeah. Like, god damn it. Like I told you,
That title will appeal to the younger kids
yes,
too.
yes, it will.
They're all about eating ass.
Yeah.
But they're not going to understand. They're not going to know what they're getting into. They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, ass eating. I can listen to this."
More butt stuff, right?
And
yeah,
then-
I'm
and
down
then-
with that.
And then they'll listen to this whole episode, get a lot of stuff talking about like actors and comedians diversifying, and then some like all that serious talk, and then whatever else we talked about for a while.
And the
and then a
10
cat eat
minutes.
its own asshole.
A cat being oppressed while he's trying to eat his own asshole. Like this is a social fucking movement here. Like cats should be free to eat their own assholes. On their time, okay?
I'm taking that chair away from you.
I
Please
second
don't.
that movement.
Please don't.
I like
No.
it.
I'm so comfortable. Like
Good.
I have never been this comfortable on
Good.
a podcast before.
I don't have any interesting topics to talk about.
I don't know what else I have to say.
Yeah, I'm good.
Went on vacation. The weather was beautiful. You know, I've been trying to get Skylar to move for a decade, and within the first 10 hours of being there, she's like, "I want to move here." So, but of course, it's right when I get into an apprenticeship, and then the job market for my trade isn't very good down there. So, still stuck in Indiana.
Thanks, woman.
Thanks, woman. But I can't complain because she told me, without me asking, that she wanted to move away from Indiana. So
That's the first step.
that's a big first step.
I'm never moving states again, ever.
I don't know how. I mean, I understand. Normally, I would say I don't know how you could leave and ever want to come back to this fucking hellhole. But you went to Chicago, which is worse than this hellhole. So, I get it. Like, this is the lesser of two evils, for sure. But Indiana is one of the most depressing places in our nation for a reason.
If I were to move, it'd be down south, but it would have to be because of job, of work. Like, that'd be the only reason why I would move at this point. So,
Or, like, just overall mental health. Like, hey, the weather's nicer today. That's going to actually make me happier. Like,
fuck it.
all right. Like, fuck science, I guess. Like,
It's all a joke anyway. It's all theories. There's no such thing.
oh, God.
There's no such thing as scientific law.
Oh, God.
They're theories.
We've had this conversation before. And I agreed with it all. But I also know but I also know that cold weather makes people less happy psychologically. It's not good for your mental health.
The lack of sunlight too.
Yep.
You need that vitamin D.
You gonna get this vitamin D. Ick.
You think that's what the sun does anytime it comes out? Gonna get this vitamin D, boy. Just like, oh, thanks, son. He's like, say it with the damn chest. Oh, thanks.
Oh,
My wife just texted me and says, "Hey, Ruby has a splinter in her finger. I need your help when you get home."
Get some fucking
Like-
tweezers.
Like,
Put
amputate.
put her finger in
yeah,
some hot water.
cut her finger off.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah.
Hot water. Get some tweezers. There you go. Saved your life. You're welcome, kid.
I never tried hot water.
Yeah.
I got a lot of splinters as a kid. I was outside a lot more.
Did you also wear your helmet?
No.
I touched a lot of sticks. We've done a lot of tree forts outside.
Yeah.
And then I got splinters from them.
My wife says I can't hold her down and get it out at the same time.
Sit on her.
And stop reading our text on the podcast. Get the fuck out of my life, Cal. I don't have anything else to say. If I sit in this recliner anymore, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Let me ask you one question. Where would you move?
If I was gonna move anywhere in the U.S., 3 locations. So I'm either gonna move anywhere in the Gulf, excluding Florida. So Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, in the Gulf side of Texas, anywhere in that range. Because I've always said that Texas is actually America and everyone else is pretending, and I still agree, or I still hold that opinion. And then if I had to stay more towards the heartland of the U.S., it would definitely be Tennessee. I've lived in Kentucky and Tennessee both. I think you, as long as you stay away from major metropolitan Kentucky, as far as Louisville, Lexington, Memphis. Well, Memphis is Tennessee.
But, Memphis.
As long as you stay away from Louisville and Lexington,
Yeah.
and you
I was
stay
thinking Louisville.
more rural, Kentucky is not a bad place to live. Tennessee. The nice thing about Tennessee is you go south, you're closer to the Gulf. You go east, like southeast, like Chattanooga. If you're in Chattanooga, you can be in 7 states in 30 minutes. So there's a point called Lookout Point in Chattanooga that when you're standing on it, you can see 7 states from that place. So
I think I've been there.
Chattanooga is actually one of the fastest growing tech hubs in the United States. A lot of companies, I'm just going to throw like
Them in Houston.
Apple. Well, Houston is what it is for a lot of reasons. One, you don't pay any state income tax. So that's a big draw for a lot of companies. It's the fastest growing city in the U.S., and it has been for over a decade at this point. Your tax benefit in Houston is so much greater than the tax detriment that you have from being located or being based out of California. So a lot of the companies that were really strong in Silicon Valley have actually moved their headquarters to Houston, because it's a major port. The tax structure is really beneficial. Just the overall economy is better than California. Maybe not as profitable, but it's not as expensive to live there.
Yeah. It's also not on fire.
It's also not on fire. I mean, they do have hurricanes and fires, so you get a little bit of both. But yeah, so like if we were to pack up and move to Tennessee, if Tennessee was my only option, we'd probably end up in Knoxville. Since it's a college town, it'd be a little bit closer to Lafayette, but still not miserable shithole like Lafayette is. And then if I had a third option, it would be Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, not Pacific Northwest, but Northwest. I wouldn't want to live in like Washington, because Washington is quickly becoming what California is, and that's not beneficial to anyone. Oregon is great for a lot of reasons, but it's also less than ideal for a lot of reasons as far as the stuff that I like to do. So they have a lot of really archaic hunting regulations that, much like not being able to buy alcohol in Indiana on Sunday for 100 fucking years. It's a pretty dumb law. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of the same kind of shit in Oregon. I mean, you can smoke pot there, but you can't shoot a mechanical broadhead. Like, that's important to me because I'm a hunter. But yeah, I think for me, if I can't be by the ocean, I want to be by the mountains. I'm tired of looking at fucking corn, man. Just tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's miserable. There's nothing to do here. And if you look at, like, people would make the argument, well, you know, Wyoming and Montana have some of the smallest population counts in the United States. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't disagree with that a bit. But for an outdoorsman,
It's beautiful up there.
for an outdoorsman like myself, who I don't have a lot of opportunities here because it's so fucking expensive in comparison, I could have a pretty bountiful life in Wyoming or Montana. Now, I have to deal with the winters, which is one of the things that I complain about here. But in Montana, it's not 0 degrees with ice and snow that is now compounded because it was 30 degrees 4 hours ago and now it's 0. You know, when it's fucking cold in Montana, which I've spent time in Montana in the wintertime, there's a couple feet of snow and it's fucking cold. But it's not ice, snow, and then just fucking miserable for everybody. If it's bad, it's bad. You stay at home.
I think it's because probably the lake effect snow, you know, we get from good old Michigan up there.
Yeah, I mean, you got, yeah. And, I mean, as much as we are prepared and equipped to handle large volumes of snow versus, like, Houston, they got a small ice storm that rolled through. There was, like...
It was a couple years ago. Atlanta had like an inch of snow and it shut down their interstate.
Yeah,
for like 3
there was
days.
like an eighth of an inch of snow and a little bit of ice in Houston a couple years ago, and they pretty much shut everything going in or around Houston down.
They got to Austin too.
Yeah, just because they don't have the equipment to handle it, and you know, people don't take into account that maintaining a fleet of snowplows and all the ice and snow maintenance equipment is expensive to maintain. And if you only have ice every fucking decade, like,
There's no need for it.
it's pretty dumb to invest the money to buy that, you know, to put the capital forth to buy that and then maintain it. And then the only argument that I would make is now, in the last 10 years, with the climate change, which I'm not going to get in that climate change debate with anybody. You believe whatever you want to believe, as far as I'm concerned.
Science is a theory.
You know, we've proven that climate change science is 90% bullshit. We all can agree that the Earth goes through cycles, whether we're accelerating it or not. I'm not going to debate that with anybody because there's a lot of methane deposits in the United States that put off 10 times the amount of off-gassing that the entire auto fleet of the United States does 10 times over. No one can account for that amount of methane that's put into the atmosphere. But yeah, it's just, if I can't have the ocean, I want to have the mountains. I'll put up with the snow if I can look at mountains every day and then have all the opportunities to do shit, which in the long run would benefit me physically and mentally, and would actually give me an overall better quality of life just by changing the area in which I surround myself. So that's my long-winded take on relocation. And I honestly think that it's good for people to get out of their comfort zone. And, you know, I look at each individual person separate from their immediate family, their blood relatives, because I don't think blood makes you family. Separate your immediate family away, and your tribe of people are your tribe for a reason. Or there's no reason that you can't move across the country and still maintain, how would I put it? Membership in that tribe. And then make new friends and have a new life, you know? when you move somewhere new, you don't have any preconceived notions of who you are. There's no reputation. There's no bullshit. It's just the baggage you bring with you. So if you want to start over, you start over. It's that simple.
And that can be kind of changing for yourself as well.
Absolutely.
It's growth.
Yeah, it's not I start a new career across the country and I create this long-winded fabrication. You know, I spin this yarn of, you know, this was my childhood and, you know, I've climbed mountains and blah, 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 blah. It's, if you're going to make that strong of a life change and you're cognitive enough to decide there's things in my life that I want to change other than where I put roots down, that is the perfect opportunity and the easiest excuse you can find for saying, I'm going to be a better person today. You know, that's the way that I've always looked at it. But you got to want to do any of that.
Yep. You got to want to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that applies to a lot of things in life. Yeah, I got nothing. Thanks,
I'm
Matt.
Hi.
I would like to plug one thing. December 15th, the Doom Room is holding the Random Band Challenge.
Wait, is it December 15th or December 13th?
15th.
Because you had me put in my phone that it was December 13th.
I think we had this conversation up in Fort Wayne, and I told you no, because you asked me the same thing, and I told you the 15th.
Yeah,
It's a Saturday.
I don't remember that conversation.
It was a Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday,
It's
December
one of
15th.
those nap times.
Yes.
I am in band number 1 because we are number 1.
Are you going first?
Probably.
Okay.
So Tyler, I need you there.
Yeah, I plan on being there.
We have a song, and if I pull
Let's say congratulations. I hope so.
No. If I
Can
pull
you
you
and I
on
slow
stage,
dance?
if I pull you on stage, could I get you to just yell your most just gnarly heritage you can?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to do that.
As long as I've got the vocal cords for it, I would do it. It's gonna sound awful for anyone.
Oh, it's okay. It's all gonna sound awful. Like I'm mostly freestyling my lyrics.
Nice.
Like we have a song called "Scissor Fight." I killed him.
Is this a lesbian innuendo?
No, it's
Scissor me, Xerxes.
That's what I was just thinking.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. It's called Scissor Fight, and I was more so like the music kind of lended itself to me saying, "Don't bring paper to a scissor fight."
That's fair.
And it's just all about like the song. It's basically about like idiots. Like you're so stupid.
You're dumb. You're
Is the last like lyric to the song is just like should have brought a rock.
I can do that. I can maybe do that.
Should.
This little band, this random band project has been a lot of fun. Like the last couple times we've practiced, I've really discovered some bits of my own voice that I didn't know was there, and I thought that was really cool. I can't wait to actually do it. What you doing over there, Tyler?
Well, I can't remember where I put my keys. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't lock myself in my truck.
And again, that's December 15th.
December 15th at North End Pub. Oh man, this is the first time it's been used on the toilet down here has been used on the podcast.
There's stuff in my way.
I don't know.
Like everything else in life, I just barreled my way through it.
Are you just leaving it wide open?
I'm gonna open this so I have some light.
There is a light down in there.
Where?
It's a hanging bulb.
You want me to take a shower?
No, I have a shower in there too.
Yeah, it doesn't work like.
It should.
Well, it doesn't.
It worked for me yesterday.
Well, it doesn't.
I guess the other day it didn't work too. It just goes back and forth on whether it works or not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna.
I wonder if it's with that switch.
Wanna crack this?
Oh, maybe it is. Oh no, I can't turn that on right now. It's the end of the Okay, he's tinkling. He's tinkling, guys.
Yay. I'm Matt.
Are you being shy right now? I can't hear you. There it is.
Get my fucking pants down, bro.
Why do you take your pants all the way down?
I just picture him like Butters on South
What are you
Park.
doing? Sitting down?
All the way down.
Pulls pants all the way down, lifts his shirt up. That's all he does.
What a strong, heavy stream he has.
My God, this man hasn't pissed for days.
Oh, that was solid. Great first use of the studio today. I can't wait to start like really hammering down on this place. I'm gonna need to buy a bunch of shelves.
I need shelves.
I have a lot of stuff to put on shelves, and I don't have shelves.
I need
That's
shelves.
uber fucking convenient.
Yeah, it is.
No, I didn't have to take my pants all the way down. I had to fucking find my dick. I have compression short boxers on, so.
I do too, and I don't have that issue.
Well, you don't have a teeny tiny dick.
I was about to say, mine's small like that too, brother. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, let's end this thing.
I've been fucking locked up in this recliner for 2.5
Skylar
hours.
says nasty. Yeah, let's go ahead and end this. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Matt, for joining us officially. Thank you, Tyler. As
Co-host
always.
number 3.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get name tags.
You said that. So,
No, I'm serious. We need to get name tags.
yeah. If you're watching live, check us out every Tuesday live here on Facebook. If you're listening on Thursday, you can check us out every Thursday on iTunes and Podbean and on the Journey into Comics Network feed, on all the other services as well. Same with Podbean and iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Google Play.
You're on Spotify?
Yep, we're on Spotify. If you subscribe to Journey into Comics.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
We are currently only on Podbean and iTunes.
Yes. Making our way through all the different platforms, but we'll get there eventually.
Are you and I going to try and do... This is something I meant to ask you when we got accepted for iTunes. Are we going to do SoundCloud?
Probably not, no. I have a SoundCloud, but it's just... Nah.
I mean, if it's easy, I think we should. It's not a lot of effort.
I would agree with him. SoundCloud is a very popular... it's how Post Malone got his start, bro.
If it's not a lot of effort, I think it would just be another one.
It's just something we got to pay for. And... Because if you have a free account, you only have so much space.
Right.
And it's not much at all, especially for 2.5-hour podcasts.
Right.
So it's just not a viable platform for this type of thing.
Let me see how much it is. Keep talking.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys want to check us out, subscribe to us on Podbean or iTunes at Podcastrophe Pod. Or you can subscribe to Journey into Comics. And you get a bunch of shows like Journey into Comics, Poor News, Poor Entertainment, Adulting A and Easy, Foodies Watching Movies, Journey into Wrestling, Brews with Dudes, Kids for Sale, and Gallif Radio, The Voice of Survival. I think that's it. I think that's all the shows. Did I get all the shows?
I think so.
I did it. I did it, Tyler. Whoa. I was on Brews with Dudes this week.
Nice.
I did that show yesterday. That'll be out this Saturday, so check that out. We did mostly 450 beers from the Black Friday release. That was some good stuff. Double stack flapjack nuggets was decent. Tyler.
I'm looking at SoundCloud.
All right. If that is all, that is all.
That is all. That is all.
That is all.
So
That is all.
let me ask you this real quick. Looking at SoundCloud Pro unlimited upload time. 144 a year. SoundCloud Pro, 6-hour upload time. Would that be 6 hour per thing, or 6 hours of total?
I think total.
Okay.
Because it's mostly songs, and 6 hours worth of songs is a lot of songs.
Right. So it would cost us $144 a year.
How
How much does iTunes cost?
Free.
Is it?
Yeah. All I had to do is send them my RSS feed from Podbean
Right. Well,
and make sure the logo fit.
I mean, you figure $12 a month. That's kind of shitty.
Yeah,
All right,
fuck that.
I'm done.
I am too. So please make every day a big dick day.
Yeet.
Bye, guys.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girlie's to the right of me, just like I planned. It's gonna be a big dick day.